Hello and welcome into my latest live broadcast. My name is CareyHolzman and this is Mitch,
the man Morrison.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Glad we agree.
On this Freaky Friday with a weird build.
It's definitely going to be a weird build today. And I'm just looking at the live feed and I see it is buffering. Isn't that interesting? See that?
Yeah, yet it says
nothing's happening
yet
there.
it says excellent connection.
So I hope that people can see us. I guess we're going to wait a minute here and find out what's going on. This is not working for some reason. And let me just make sure that my stream key didn't change. It's always little stuff I have to check. Where's my stream key? Stream key. Yeah, that should be the same stream key. Let me just double check here. Settings. And output. Oh, stream. And now that I'm broadcasting, it won't show. Okay. Well, that's fantastic. So either we are streaming or I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now. My whole screen went blank.
You would think chat would tell us if, are you seeing us or not?
We'll refresh over here and see if we get better luck. Yeah, this is going to be a difficult day today. The internet's really not doing well today, so we're doing our best to broadcast live but record it locally so that at the very least we have something that can be uploaded later. Yeah, it'll be, but see, it's not loading at all. And now it's saying YouTube's not getting enough, but OBS says it is getting enough. We're getting mixed messages here. Very, very confused right now. We've got 265 people watching live, so no pressure.
Yep.
No pressure to get it working. Look how slow the internet is. It's still refreshing the screen. When I hit refresh, and I'm assuming people can see us, but when I hit refresh, it should instantaneously redraw. And other people are saying they can see us.
Looks pretty good on my end.
So we can't monitor our own feed, is what it looks like. So I guess we're going to, I don't know.
Soldier on, maybe, on this Friday.
It looks like we missed a few contributions. Peter Laycock with a 50-pound contribution.
Was he in first? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Thank you so much, Peter. Danny K, $10 Canadian, and Rick Hubbard joining us from London, £5. Thanks, you guys. Thank you so much. And this is really weird to work against a blank screen. It's kind of throwing me off a little bit. So let's put something up here that we can look at. And I have no idea what's going on today. So we'll just watch this area down here to see if we're okay.
Yeah.
Now, what I like to do, and hopefully we should be reconnected. And YouTube is giving me grief right now for some reason. Let's see. Which one do I use? Do I use this one? This is so slow, Mitch. I mean, I'm just trying to do some real basic stuff here, and it's very, very slow to respond. Just waiting for a page here. In the meantime, what can I do? Can I refresh? Probably the worst thing I could have done. We're going to work out these glitches. Studio B is a temporary studio. It was never designed or intended to be used as I'm intending it. And so we're struggling through some obstacles with the limitations that we face in this environment, which it's this or no live videos. I could always film here and upload later. That's not a problem. It's the problem is in the live stuff. There's a significant demand on bandwidth for what we're doing. And well aware, sometimes we have good days. Sometimes we have good and bad days at the same time. We can be fine for a half an hour and then it just drops. And yeah, it looks like it's still not refreshing for us. Oh, there it goes. Now it's working. And now it wants me to verify I am who I am.
That'll be quite difficult.
Okay, that should make it happy, I hope. I've tried 4 different internet connections, and so YouTube said, we're suspicious that you're actually you now because we see 4 different IP addresses all trying to access the same account.
Right.
Because each internet connection I'm trying is, of course, its own IP address. So I've just verified it, and now we're still waiting on the screen to acknowledge that I just did that. And unfortunately, there's no way for me to test this without actually going live. So I appreciate everybody's patience as we work through some of these little
Glitches.
sort of a learning curve in this environment to figure out what we've got and how we can use it. Now, I do have some other items that might solve this problem. A company just sent me a wireless bridge, but I just got it yesterday, so I haven't had time to install it, and I'm going to hope that that might help us, but I can't do it today. Rick Lakes contributes very generously, $50. Hey, Rick, thank you so much
Rick,
for your
thank
contribution.
Happy Friday to you. Freaky Friday.
So
Weird Bill.
How have you been, Mitch?
Good.
Yeah.
Chat, since I haven't shown you my shirt, guess what band is on my shirt?
Is it Toto?
You get 3 guesses. All right. And then
Hold
I
on,
shall
let me
reveal.
guess. Let me do first.
Okay.
Okay, Toto?
No.
Toto.
Not Toto. No.
What about Toto?
No. How about Atoto?
How about what? Adat?
Yeah, Ada.
That's when we have the camera in mirror mode.
Yeah, mirror mode.
Thomas Beckenstowe, there he is, $20. Yeah. He says, hello, Carey and Mitch. Hey, Thomas.
Hey.
Always good to see Thomas.
Yeah. I shall reveal in 3, 2, 1.
Hall & Oates. Woohoo! They don't like to be called Hall & Oates.
Okay.
They like to be called Daryl Hall and John
John
Oates.
Oates.
They said, we hate being called Hall & Oates. We've never released an album called Hall & Oates. We've never referred to ourselves as Hall & Oates. And we were very cognizant of that when we released our first album to intentionally not put Hall & Oates on it. And yet,
some DJ spinning our planter probably shortened it so we could add an extra commercial.
So all right. So we are going to struggle with internet connection issues today. I will tell you right now that this is going to be an ongoing problem. If that bothers you, please go away. We will have, this should be recorded locally, that it can be uploaded later without the chat interaction. What I'm trying to do here is give up the, so you have to understand the position I'm in. I can either not do a video today live. In other words, Mitch and I can do this without you guys. And we can record it in the studio and I can upload it later. But then there's no chat interaction with Mitch and I. So what would you guys like us to do? Would you like us to go ahead and cancel today's live video? Or would you like us to
figure out these issues? And
yeah, I mean, we can work today and
maybe work tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, with all the kids home from school.
It's not going to happen tomorrow. I can't do it tomorrow. But I will say this. If this bothers people, and they would rather not interact with us, we can go offline and we can do this ourselves. And then I can upload it later tonight. It's just a regular recorded video with no chat room.
Usually in about 20 to 30 minutes, it settles down, doesn't it? To where it
you know what? It's iffy. We'll have a streak of 30 minutes to an hour of good, and then we'll have a streak of 10 to 40 minutes of intermittent problems. It's just been an ongoing issue. So again, see, just all I had to do is talk about it. It's already started. So this is what's going to happen during today's broadcast. And if you guys think that that's too annoying to watch, we'll go ahead and end the stream so that we can get it. I have to get the work done regardless, whether or not it's live or not. But I do enjoy hanging out with you guys, but not if you guys are going to complain. I mean, who wants to hang around somebody like that? That's my job.
If it's twitchy, yeah. Amen to that.
My job to complain. But it is being recorded the same. So if the connection turns out to be really, really bad, we can always have the original content here that can be potentially edited down or just posted as is, either way. So
some people say carry on, keep going. We've got.
Is anybody telling us not to? I postponed a Windows 10 update to watch this. Yeah, so
He flipped the coin and got us. All right.
all right.
Okay.
There's Planet Cryos.
Hey.
$10. He says, push on, I say.
Say. Yeah, you're the one that's going to have to edit this.
No, I'm going to keep, I don't want to break him. So
Right.
I'm going to keep him doing like 10-minute videos
Right.
or less, you know. I've lost more than one editor that way. All right, so today the case is a manufacturer called Segotep, and this comes from a company in Canada called Unaway Computers, and this was on back order for about 6 weeks, and it had to arrive through customs to Canada. And I think I'm the second YouTuber to make a video on this case. I always like to do content that's unique, that's not completely flooded. So as long as I'm one of the first, of course, a shout out to the folks at Gamers Nexus. We would have never known this case existed.
So he was number one, and you're number two. You know what I mean?
Not the first time I've been told that.
Yeah.
You know what? I never want to be first. I never want to be last.
Okay.
I just always want to be next. All right. So yeah, it's a pretty unique looking
Pretty
case.
sweet. Yeah.
Now this is supposed to hold a micro ATX or a mini ITX motherboard.
We'll get you close-ups. We got another.
And as a
camera.
little teaser for you guys, a couple of builds coming up. I've got a system back. Well, not a system. I got a case that costs more than that case, and it fits in the palm of my hand. This is called a DAN case.
DAN.
Yeah, like
Dan.
is it short for like Don is Donald? Dan.
Dan. Yeah.
Daniel. Yeah, like Daniel.
What sort of motherboard fits in there?
Mini ITX.
Mini. Okay.
This looks a lot like the N-Case M1, but it's much thinner. And this is meant to be a portable gaming computer. This is a $230 or $40, $240 for this case.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very light.
USB Type C.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yep. Little power button on the front right there. So if you look at Dan cases, you'll find this is a special order case. And I got for my nephew for his birthday, and now I'm going to components in it because he's going off to college this year, and this will be a great little dorm computer.
All metal.
See how it's a little scratched up? Can't give the kid anything nice. Took it out of the box, scratched up. Anyway, I'm going to look forward to building this, and we have one other case. Ryan in Nevada sent me it's called the, what's it called? The Mustex MK7 gaming, thank you. And if you can Google that and look it up, that'll be coming up next week. And then after that, you're gone for a few weeks, right?
Up to Eagle,
Colorado.
Eagle, Colorado. Get out of this heat. Someone did mention Toto, Africa, and
Yeah, we're battling.
Yeah, it's Africa hot today. What is it? 100 today?
We're supposed to have our last 100-degree day, and then the next week it's supposed to be really windy and in the 90s. So I'm looking forward to next week because it's only going to get hotter.
Yep.
Michigan couldn't sound any better today. I'll tell you that. Between the internet connection, the heat, the sound of the air conditioner, everything's going my way. All right.
He's bad luck. Let me step away.
Yeah, well, you know it's bad when black cats won't cross my path. So anyway, that's coming up with some unique, one-of-a-kind builds you typically won't find anywhere else. Now, this thing is interesting because there's no instructions.
Okay.
Which I would just throw away anyway. So they're learning.
Yeah.
But it isn't obvious how to open it. What would you guess?
Nutty's in there flying it, so
Yay!
let's.
Should I put like a little? I was thinking on the back here, we could put like a little baby alien on board thing back here, like a baby on board.
I'm guessing you hit that and the window pops up.
No, that's a power button.
Oh, I was just testing you. All right.
Yeah. Everything on this case pulls apart. There's no screws that I'm aware of. Well, there might be some hidden screws here, but But to get started, if we turn this around, let me have you step on the other side of the counter so everybody at home can come on over here, Mitch. Oh, and you see that cutout? Put your hand, no, above. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter either way. Okay. And that should be held in magnetically. You should be able to pull on it and it should just pop right straight. Oh, yes. Do you feel the magnets? There it is. Show everybody. Turn it around the other way. You can see the 4 magnets there. There you go. There it is. There's no glass. This is all plastic. All plastic. We're going to set that far aside because it's going to be a long time before we're going to need that piece. That'll be one of the last things that'll go back on when we're done. So then we've got this front window, yeah, right? And so I'll step over here and do this part. This is a little bit confusing, but essentially you don't have to take this piece off. There's a frame underneath of it, so this doesn't really open up anything for us, but I'll show you. Steady. It's a little nerve-wracking, yeah. But you see it didn't really give us any access. See what I'm saying? So this might as well just be left on for all I care. Okay. It doesn't really, we could leave it off too. So we'll set that over here as well. So you say, okay, well, how do you work on it? Well, spin it back around for me. And you'll see we've got 2 screws, one here and one here. And we'll set those. And then we have 2 screw balls, one here and one here. How dare you? Yeah, okay. I have a screw ball over here. Okay. Good. Mix me one while you're at it, would you? You know what? I don't have it here. It's a highball. No. I have sheepdog. Okay. It's a peanut butter whiskey, but there's one called screwball, which is peanut butter whiskey. Did you need a big red or no? No. No, thank you for asking. Squirrel moment. Okay. Oh, look, one of the magnets. Didn't Gamers Nexus have this exact same problem where one of the magnets stuck? Yeah, nothing a hot melt glue gun can't fix. But that's the little magnet right there that goes on that back piece. So we'll just, it's only a $220 after shipping case. It's not like they should, make it well. It's not well made. It's fragile. Yeah. All right, so you should be able to just, now just alligator clip, they call them alligator clips, those plastic clips should be holding this in place. And the question is, where do you grab it and pull it where you're not going to break it to separate the top from the bottom? Apparently, right about there. And as we can see, these are the little alligator clips we were talking about right here. And these will break over time. And, here in Arizona where we have no humidity, this will get dry and brittle and it will break regardless. But that's just the way they designed it. And it's not really meant to be opened and closed and opened and closed and opened and closed. So we can set this somewhere. Hey, I got a shelf. I can use this new shelf. We'll just hope that doesn't fall down. Up here in the front of the case, oh, thanks for that. So here's a bag of screws for mounting things inside. We got a couple of small, what are these, 80mm fans that still have Molex connectors for some reason and 3-pin fan header connections. These little parts here are what the plastic clips go into. It's too bad those aren't metal clips going in there. And what else do we have? This power button that you're going to push through the front of the case. If you bring this back down, right here on the front, we have an LED that's going to shine down the Segotep logo. I think there's a way to change that film out to have my own logo put on there, but they don't help you with that. We have one USB 3. That really upsets me. They should have given us 2. They give us 2 USB 2s and input and output for your audio, headphone and microphone. And this last thing is a reset switch. No, that's not a reset switch because it's sticking in. So this last thing must be for turning this LED on and off. That would be my guess. Now, if you continue to hold it up here, you'll see we've got a filter down here. And again, this is one of those budget filters that it sits inside of these plastic tabs. They're very difficult to get them removed and very difficult to get them reinstalled again. I much prefer like a sliding tray where the filters can be easily removed and cleaned, but it is what it is. We've got rubber feet to protect the furniture of these. This is the only part of this case that's metal. These landing gear or skids are what looks like one solid piece of aluminum. Clearly that's the most expensive part of the case. You have this really nice landing pad here, and then just a crappy filter, crappy buttons, one USB 3. This is what you see on budget cases. I don't know, is this a budget case or not? Is it an expensive case? This is an expensive, but it is, Mitch. That's how we're going to title it.
My arms are killing me.
Put it down.
Pretty heavy.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
Muscles. All right. Okay.
Mitch says this is heavy. Let me just see how heavy this is.
Okay. All right, Mr. Boasting. Yeah.
Let it go.
You'll break your finger.
Let it go. Oh no, it's so heavy, Mitch. Mitch, we're gonna get you to a doctor.
Yeah. Okay.
You never picked up a gallon of milk before?
Dr. Feelgood. All right.
That weighs about a gallon of milk. That's
Okay.
what I'd say. But I'm vegan. Okay, a gallon of water.
Almond milk.
Almond milk.
Yeah.
Cashew milk. All right, so now the question is, we obviously this is the motherboard tray right here, right? The motherboard tray. These 4 standoffs would be for a mini ITX motherboard. That would fit right like that. So you'd see we'd have all this empty space. So to go micro ATX, we're going to go pretty much right to the edges all the way probably to this line, which does mean that we're going to have to perhaps not use these 2 cable management holes. We'll have to bring it all through here. They open this area up not for cable management though. They really intend cable management to go through these holes. And this, well, they recommend, like if you look at the picture for this case online, they've got a 140 millimeter radiator with a fan here. And they show the fan blowing down, which is weird because the air is going in this way. Mm-hmm. So the fan should probably be blowing air straight up. But the problem with that is it's got nowhere to escape, and you're going to heat up everything in here. So I don't know. But we don't have a 140 millimeter radiator. That might be something to visit in the future. I just want to put something in this and get it running, and then we'll... And that's why there's no parts list today, because I don't yet know what I'm going to put in there.
We'll figure out as
we're going to find out. Yeah. So Mark Hunter with a $5 contribution says, you guys rock at PC building. I can't wait to build another one, all from your brain to mine. Thank you, Mark. And there's Marty Yoel in the chat room. Marty contributes $5. Marty, my friend, good to see you. Thank you. And is Mark Hunter, is he already a moderator in here? Is he blue? Mm-hmm. Make sure he's blue. It's not working. Great, because my internet connection is so bad. Yeah, he's blue.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to keep an eye on this little area right here, Mitch. Yeah, it's so what I'm showing Mitch is we have this little area that shows us our connection status in OBS. And when it's green, it's good. And when it's yellow, it's not so good. And when it's red, it's really bad. So that's the only way we know. Because by the time that we see that, by the time we hear people in the chat room, that means it's already been about 90 seconds for the time, that we experience it to when you see it. So preferably, see, I just did it again. So preferably we'll see it before you do. Otherwise, there's content you could be missing. But that's why I'm also recording this locally. Throw Mitch in there. Can you fit in there, Mitch? It's taking you that long?
Evil Michigan, because he's a lot shorter, yeah.
Now, the way Gamers Nexus showed this, it looked like there was no IO shield ability, but in fact, I think they built, there's clearly a place for an IO shield in here. Because when I saw Gamers Nexus, I was like, uh-oh, I better make sure I get a motherboard with a built-in IO shield. But now that I'm looking at it, no, it's got a regular hole cut out for an IO shield, so I guess Gamers Nexus just didn't have an IO shield. But, I have, this is going to shock a lot of you, I have OCD. So do you see what I'm seeing right now that's really, really irritating my OCD? Look at these.
Yeah, for the graphics.
Okay, how come this one is different? How come this one has hexagon holes like the fans, but these three have straight rectangular cutouts? Now these are built into the case. These are the kind you break off, but this one is a screw down. So why didn't, for this price, why didn't they give me 4 of the same ones? You know, with the screws already in. Why?
And can you fit a full-size power supply? This isn't one of those one of those little ones.
How dare you?
One of those little.
How dare you?
The smaller ones, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. The smaller. We're gonna find out.
Are you suggesting that the vertically challenged power supplies would be required? No, that's a full-size ATX power supply.
Yeah.
You can see Mitch backing up that one quick.
Yeah.
It's fun to make him uncomfortable as much as I do.
I'm turning beet red.
I know. I love it.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
So do me a favor, Mitch.
Yeah.
Grab a screwdriver. Grab the red screwdriver. Come around here, if you would, please. And I'll tell you what. Let's do something a little different here. I'm gonna grab the handheld camera, but we're not gonna use the Wi-Fi on it.
Right.
And
we're already in the red.
Yeah, but that's okay. We're still recording.
Get a full size.
So what we're looking at, so just so people, you're hearing the OBS connecting and disconnecting. And what we're looking at, if I bring the camera around here, right down here, OBS is giving us our connection. And when the connection starts to go bad, that little green line will become red,
Yellow.
for us. And we'll see that the kilobits per second there will drop to 0. And when it goes to 0, obviously everything stops. When it goes to yellow, what that means is we're losing frames, but the audio is still going. So we're doing the best we can with what we have, but this is what we're looking at when it comes to OBS. And then I am recording it locally as well as streaming it so that we have something to fall back on. I like how it says there's 0.0% of drop frames. That's a lie. All right, so anyway, back over to the build here. What are we going to use for a power supply today, Mr. Mitch? What do we got? You want to use a modular or
full modular?
Full modular, he says. Oh, we're going to use one of the NZXT.
I'll hold it so it doesn't come off.
Okay. Yeah, the C750. These are about $135 on Amazon, or at least they were when I bought them. And what is that? That's an 80 plus gold with, what's the warranty on those? Like 10 years, I think it's a 10-year warranty, if I'm not mistaken. That's fully modular. And
Here's our bag.
yeah. Oh, that's going to go good with your shoes.
Yeah.
Instructions. What else you got? Whatever that was.
And like you said, it comes in its nice little bag. Pardon me while I. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to make Mitch the star of the show today. Yeah, so there's our power supply. Looking good. See the other sides. Yeah, this looks pretty dramatic on the side here. It looks like it's significantly dipped in right here, but it is dipped in, but just barely. It looks like it's really deep, but it's very shallow.
Yeah.
When you turn this way, you can't even really see it.
Right.
So, all right, and then yeah, we know what this side looks like. All right. So we want to do modular in here. Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it looks like there's plenty of room in here to hide extra cables. We don't have to go modular.
Down there in the galley.
Yeah. Is that what you're going to call it, the galley?
Is this so that plate's going to go here? That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece that you just removed, right? Because that piece was right here.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and set the power supply on its back. There you go. Lay that on top. And then the screws that came with the power supply.
Does that look like a hole? It does. This one does here. Yeah.
Hold on a minute. You realize, hold on.
Do I have it upside down?
No, so these little pieces that come up were on the outside of the case. And I just want to make sure that you're not blocking these holes here, because these holes are going to secure this frame back inside of the case.
Yeah.
So you're doing everything perfectly right now. I'm just going to poke you in the eye with the antennas on this.
Good thing I got my glasses. All right.
Your glasses.
Uh-oh. They won't line up. It won't line up, Uncle Carey. I got to loosen. Been a long time since I've built a...
Yeah, I thought it was time today. Felt like a good, since everything else was going wrong, why not let Mitch build it?
Watch. Sweat.
Did you see what I did there?
Yeah. Oh, is it here? Look. See, this looks like a fan. Yeah, here it is, right here. But then, there's only 3.
Sometimes you just need to just give people time to think.
You see here, look, let me show you. It's these are venting holes. This is a screw hole.
What's a venting hole?
Here.
What'd you call them?
These ones are venting, and that one. That's macro there. So look, see this little cutout? It lines up beautifully.
Yes, it does.
And here, but then this one is those again. That's a venting. So it's odd that you have 3.
But then what's this cut out for?
Oh, didn't see that. All right. Where are my short glasses? Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
what are we going back to the whole height thing? What's going on over here? I think Mitch is being passive aggressive towards short people.
No names mentioned.
I will punch you in the knee.
Only initials. CH. All right.
Come on, that was funny.
Yeah.
I said I'd punch you in the knee because I'm short, see, and you're tall.
Yeah.
That's where I would hit you if I punched you. And then, okay, one more time. Is this on? Hello? Is this microphone on? Do you realize that you have become, Mitch is very sneaky. He has somehow wormed his way into becoming the second apprentice I have ever taken on. Do you realize that? You did that with purpose, didn't you?
Yeah.
I've only got one apprentice and he left the state, but he's coming back.
That's not saying much. Okay.
And when he comes back, I'm going to put him to work. So you're going to have competition. Are you jealous?
Yes. So should I shove it in or no? I mean, should I place it?
Could you be more, phrasing? Could you?
May I put this in?
No, you're not. Please.
I'm not done yet.
Come around.
Yeah.
Let you stop. Can I put this in?
Here, hand it to me and you do it.
No, I'm having a good time doing what all the viewers do to me. Now I see why they do it. It's a lot of fun.
Watching me sweat.
I'm just going to...
Is my toupee coming off? All right.
No, your toupee looks great.
Okay. Is it...
All right, so the fan is going to face down, right? Because we have filters down here. Remember the filter? And this fan underneath this power supply, that is drawing air in like a vacuum cleaner.
And then pushing it?
No. It's going to push it out.
Oh, there.
Through the vent holes you described earlier.
The drugs are kicking in. All right. So,
well, did you bring enough for everybody?
No.
All right.
Okay.
So how do you think that goes in?
Like this.
Uh-oh. Is it going to fit?
Did I put the plate on backwards?
I didn't realize there was an up or down on the plate. Can you, is there any way to reach into the case and lift the back of the power supply up? Does that help at all? Did the screw, will the holes align?
Yep.
Yeah, are we good? Or do you think it would fit better if we flipped it around the other way, or do you think it would be the same? It should go on either direction. In theory, this plate, you should be able to rotate this plate 180 degrees and still keep the power supply in the same orientation.
I could have sworn it went on with these the way it was, so.
Yeah, these little pieces that stick out, that's for you to pull out, right? So if this was flipped on the inside, then this wouldn't sit flush. So everything is exactly the way it should be. It is a bit of a tight fit. There you go. Yeah, and just start putting the screws in loosely. Don't tighten them. And then once you get all 4 started, then you can tighten them down. That's pretty well standard procedure.
Oh. You know I'm going to
The
get
torque setting is only on 3.
Yeah,
so.
you know I'm going to get you for this. All right.
Yeah, but that's all right.
Okay.
When he gets me back for this, it'll be off camera.
Yeah.
So, less public humiliation. It's more private humiliation.
Take a look-see here. Is that not really live?
So what I would do if I were you is I'd take out the screws I already put in and start with the one that's the heart of movement. Because those screws are kind of preventing you from moving that around.
So this one, yeah.
You might have put your hand in the case and grab the power supply and lift it and pull it and wiggle it and see if you can't get that to line up.
That looks pretty good.
Does that make a difference?
Yeah, I think so.
Not so much?
Not so much. You sure you'd
Hold this. I'm running out of patience.
okay.
This is why I'm not a doctor.
Right.
There you go. So this goes to, the reason I wanted to show it isn't to embarrass you. It's to show other people who have difficulties building computers. They go, well, I must be really bad because Carey made it look so easy. The thing is I have built 30,000 computers, or I've had my hands on over 30,000 computers. So for me, it's not a big deal when I see challenges like this. There are, even though I've never worked on this case before, you see how I'm pushing in?
Oh.
You see what's happening is the top of that bracket was hitting this plastic, and I could feel that it wasn't, like right here, there's a bigger gap here than down here. So if I push this, it will move. Listen. Now that feels
Even Steven.
yeah, and it's just, for me, it's like common sense because I do this a lot. I work with a lot of different cases, and though I've never ever worked with this case before, I'm just kind of using logic and critical thinking to establish what it would take for those holes to line up properly. Now, what I would do, Mitch, when I'm putting screws in, is I would do opposite corners just because I want to make sure I don't have any alignment issues. I saw you go like one above or two at the bottom. I would recommend against that. Just in general, anytime you're working on anything that has more than 2 screws, that you would just make it a habit to do opposite corners just so you have less likelihood of any alignment issues. So now that we've got those started, I'm going to move the screwdriver to the lock mode. And what that does is it locks the spindle so that I can use this like a traditional mechanical driver. Now, one of the things we should have done that we didn't do is plug the cables onto the back of the power supply. But we'll get to that a little later. It just now occurred to me that for us to reach inside of here and plug those cables on that we're going to need, it's doable, but with a motherboard in place, like we know for a fact that we're going to need motherboard power and CPU power, right? So we could have added those because no matter what system we're building, we have to have those 2 cables. Now, with regards to any other additional power cables, like for the fans or LEDs, then that may be another power cable, which I don't know yet. So,
Live and learn.
how's that camera feeling?
Good.
Not heavy yet?
Yeah.
Is this the baggie your drugs came in?
Yeah.
Or? So you didn't bring enough?
No.
Oh, this was the screws for the power supply. I told you, I think you're addicted to these.
Yeah.
You gotta quit that. It's not good for you.
That's why I'm going to the mountains.
I mean, when someone said you had a screw loose, you took them too literally. All right, we'll go back to camera 1 and give Mitch a little break just because I'm feeling generous today. All right, camera 1 active, Mitch. Where did you go? Wow, you were standing like, that's pretty clever. You could have stayed there and nobody would have ever seen you. Oh, sure. Now he just takes up the whole camera frame. All right. I missed a couple contributions. Thomas Robinson has contributed £2. Thank you, Thomas. James Duffy with $5 Australian. He says, I can't stop laughing watching you work together, especially about venting holes and where to shove the power supply. Keep up the great work. Hey.
I'm trying not to be graphic. All right. So.
Well, that's what the GPU is for.
Okay, yeah.
And by the way, as far as your graphic goes,
Yeah.
PU.
Yeah.
See what I did there? GP, never mind.
Yeah.
All right, James Duffy contributes $5 Australian again. He says, Carey, hi, and it's been a while since I've watched live. Have a Coke on me. All right, thanks, James. What's that one say?
The one above it.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Burt. This case reminds me of Robo Foil from the
Ball Blazer game that came out in 19... Oh, I used to play
84.
Ball Blazer on my Atari 400.
Look
Lucasfilm.
Look at those nice close-ups. That's the delay, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, we are recording this locally, so you will expect to see this posted again
Without the twitches. All right.
and without the chat.
Yeah.
Matthew says the orange, red, and yellow transparent ribbons on the back of the cooler. Oh, he says tie orange, red, and yellow transparent ribbons on the back of the cooler and it'll look like flames. And the spaceship will look like it's taking off. On the back of the cooler. Where would you do that? The cooler's going to be up here.
Yeah. So meaning the hot air.
Oh, and the
comes out
power
here?
supply?
Yeah.
Tying it to the back of the power supply.
That would be pretty neat, but
You know what? That's not a terrible idea. A fire hazard, it might burn everybody,
yeah.
Burn the house down and kill people, but it would look cool. Use a gigabyte power supply for those authentic flames out the back. That's from Craig
that's
Lilly.
good, yeah.
I don't think Gigabyte's gonna like that one.
No.
And yeah, I think that catches us up on the contributions. Thanks you guys for supporting the channel. Your contributions go towards, well, at this point, they're going to go towards getting a better internet connection.
Yeah.
But they enable me to do videos more often, and getting paid now. He's stepped up. He's no longer.
$1 an hour.
You want to go back to zero?
No.
He makes more than $1 an hour. It's at least
$1.50. All right.
Here. Here's what I'm paying Mitch
Okay.
right here. Galaga, which is really cool.
Okay.
And this just opens up and it just sits on there. But look what he did. Look what he added on the side. I didn't know he was going to do that. He didn't get that. Like, I didn't send that to him. So I will put a link to his Etsy store. It's like the Tree Rat Symposium or something, because I guess squirrels are...
What would you keep? Pencils and pens in there?
Yeah, it's meant to go on your desk for pencils and pens, but I suppose you could put nuts or popcorn or stuff in there.
Your hopes and dreams? Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
So these two things go together.
Okay.
Look at how detailed this is. It's all, you can tell it's handmade, if it'll focus. And those are the real,
Video.
replicated, there's the focus. Marquees from all of the video games. And each side is different. Yeah, go to this side. There's no sharp edges, there's no splinters, everything is finely sanded. It's very well constructed. And this is meant to be a squirrel feeder. It's just a flat bottom right in here. And you just put, like when he shipped it with a bunch of popcorn kernels.
Okay.
I guess squirrels like,
Okay.
we don't have squirrels in Phoenix. Anyway,
Only one, nutty. All right.
just nutty.
Okay.
And he's like, it's too hot outside, so he hangs out in here. But so look at that. I got a matching set.
Very nice.
Just like the good old days right there, my friends. So again, I will put a link to the artist at Etsy. These are about $30, but they're handcrafted.
Yeah.
And no regrets. You ever see that tattoo where they misspelled the word no regrets?
For Snickers. Yeah.
All right, so anyway, I just want to give that guy a shout out because he just went over and above anything I expected. I'm so tickled And I just love all the detail, like of the controls and stuff down here. And then they just added my logo, which, you know, is going to, flattery will get you everywhere, is all I'm trying to say. Anyway, so we're going to put Nutty back in the arcade so he doesn't distract us too much during today's broadcast. Here, we'll put him over here. See you guys later. Bye. Here.
I thought Nutty talked like this.
All right, we'll just put him down there. Okay, all right. So when I'm doing all that nonsense, we have a good connection. See, that's where the connection should have died.
Right.
When I was putting Nutty away.
Yeah.
But that was crystal clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Motherboards. Mitch, audience, I need your help. You stay there, Mitch.
Yeah.
Okay, this is really stupid for me to do this. I'm doing it because
Then do it, because it's you.
it's going to have a good visual effect.
All right.
Let me just set this down.
Jeez.
Okay, I have a few motherboards to pick from if I don't drop anything. Okay. Whew. All right, these are all brand new in the box, never been used. Now I can't use these. I'm gonna buy.
Warning.
I've seen a used car lot, but you're starting to look like a used motherboard
Yeah,
lot.
okay.
These are all brand new in the box. I think, well, that one was sent in. Somebody sent me this one. And I can't remember. But here's the deal. These two on the bottom, these are ATX motherboards that are too big. But everything else, these three are micro ATX, the B365M DS3H from Gigabyte. I bought two of these MSI Mag B365M mortars because they were $69.99 on Amazon. And I thought if we paired that with an i5, that'd make a good budget build, you know? Okay. I've got two ROG Strix B460i Gamings. These are socket 1200 10th gen boards. These are all 9th generation. If the number on the board starts with a 3, that's 9th gen. If it starts with a 4, that's a socket 1200, that's 10th gen, 10th and 11th in most cases. So here's an H310i Pro. Here's an MSI Gaming Plus AC, and I've got a little bit of everything. An ASRock B365M ITX. So these all have built-in Wi-Fi because they're mini ITX and there's no way to add Wi-Fi other than USB. So anyway, what do you guys think I should put in there? That's what I was trying to ask. I just want to see what the audience wants me to use. And obviously I can't use these two on the bottom, but these are the boards that I have still to use.
So no pressure.
These do not include these don't include, I've got about 15 or 20 other motherboards that are all prepped and ready to go into cases, in addition to what you see here.
Okay.
So that's my status right now. Now, you see the mouse, Mitch? Can you give the mouse a click and click on the down arrow right over there by the chat room? And I can't see what anybody's saying.
We're in the red anyway.
That's right.
Yeah. And you say this one will fit in there.
Yeah, everything except the bottom two will fit in there. So let's scroll up a little bit here, if you would, please, so I can see what people in the chat are saying.
How do I do that, right?
Just roll the wheel on the mouse. Oh. You just hit the X to close that. There you go.
Oh, hit the wheel. Okay. That's where we were.
Okay. I don't see anybody talking about the boards yet, so I don't know what they're seeing. It says we're unable to connect to chat. Well, that's lovely.
Okay.
Hit refresh for me on the browser.
How do I do that?
All the way to the top left, you see that circle, that like recycling looking circle in the top left? Yeah, you go ahead and give that one click. and then we wait for it to reconnect us again. Use the MSI Gaming Plus AC, says Samuel Ramos.
Okay.
Good writer saying ROG Strix, Asus Strix. Boy, everybody wants. So the problem with the Strix board, and if we use it, is that they're mini ITX boards, right?
Yeah.
And this case will allow for a micro ATX board. And why I say it's a problem is you only get one PCIe slot on any of these boards. They only have one, and they only have two RAM sockets. These boards will have 4 RAM sockets and multiple PCI Express, like usually 4. So 1 slot, 4 slots, 2 RAM slots, 4 RAM slots. And then you go to a full ATX case, then you have like 7
which won't fit in
slots
there,
and then 4 RAM slots.
Well, and I think you kind of answered your thing. I would rather go for 4 RAM slots, and if somebody wants to put a graphics card in there.
Yeah, but that's not what the audience wants.
Oh,
I mean, overall, everybody in the audience is saying ROG Strix.
okay.
That's what they want. So we'll do what
Give-
they
give-
want,
give
even
them
though
what
it
they
goes
want.
against my.
Okay.
Like if it was me doing this off camera, I wouldn't use the Strix in that. I would use the Strix in the smaller.
Right.
Remember, build. I've got. I should stand over here where people can see me. I've got the Dan case. I've got the. Look, it looks like a Windows update came in. Even though I just checked for updates,
Right. Yeah.
so I'm not quite sure what that's all about. But I can't restart right now in the middle of a broadcast, so that will wait. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take the ROG Strix on it, but I didn't take anything out. So we'll set that down. And then, since that's what everybody wants, I will put these back in the pile. Don't mind me. Put these over here. And I'll grab these other 2. Okay, now let me see what I have for a CPU. Let me see what I have back here. Oh, I have the perfect thing. And I have a Core i5.
Okay.
That, what is that, Mitch? What did I just hand you?
An 10600K i5
Say it one more time.
unlocked. Ooh, 10th generation Core i5.
Well, it
unlocked.
has to be a 10th. I mean, it's a socket 1200.
Socket 12.
Let me bring it up to the camera so everybody can see what we got. This is what, that's why, again, there's no part while we're doing this live, is I haven't figured out what I was going to use. So we're going to go with the 10600K. It's a Core i5. If you go to the 10700K, that's an i7. And then a 10900K is an i9. I believe that's how that works. This is brand new. It's never been opened. Which way does it go? So we use that with this. And then what do we want to do for RAM? You can't really see through that dark canopy.
So any sort of.
So does it make sense to use that crystal RGB on there, you think?
No.
You think you might be able to see it? I don't know.
No. Because
No?
again, you'll be light shining down on the table.
Well, that's true. It does have that light. The focus will be sort of
Yeah,
on
so
there.
your eye goes right there. So if you've got just some two 8 gig sticks for 16.
You think 16 or 32? Let's do it budget. Let's do it budget.
Yeah,
This is an
16.
expensive budget case. So we'll do
16.
16. So here's some 16 gigs right here.
Okay.
T-Force Vulcan Z.
I can't do the.
No, I can't do that either. But that's why I like Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right, and then we need solid state drive. What can we use?
One terabyte?
Yeah, you know what? I held drive on a previous build and then I switched it out for something else.
Okay.
So this has maybe 2 or 3 hours of use on it, but it's otherwise brand new.
Okay.
So we'll use that.
1 gig?
One
1 terabyte?
1 terabyte.
Oh, yeah.
It's an Intel 660p,
Okay.
and those run about $100. So this will be a budget build,
Okay. Yeah.
and we'll use the onboard video.
Okay.
But we have a big enough power supply. The reason we went with the 750 was so that if the person that gets the computer wants to add a graphics card, all I have to do is plug it in and run the power supply cable.
So should we set that aside to build on the motherboard?
Yeah, we're going to need to prep the board.
Board.
I'm just kind of stalling,
Yeah.
waiting for that to go green, and we're back in green again. Yes, people in the chat watching this live who have missed the beginning of the show, we're having very, very difficult internet issues today. And we asked the audience early on if they wanted us to either end today's live stream, and then Mitch and I will build this offline and upload the video later. The votes came in. Everybody said, look, we'll put up with the bad internet connection because
We're a couple of great.
it's something to do anyway. I mean, we can't control this. This internet connection is very intermittent here, and we're lucky to even have this space, let alone have an internet connection. So it's, damned if you do and damned if you don't in this particular circumstance. But we are recording this so if the live stream is just a mess, at least enjoy the chat and the audio.
Okay.
And know that we will upload the recorded bridge when we get to it. Yeah. And so the noise you're hearing, the microphone's picking up the bling,
Yeah.
that's OBS connecting and reconnecting, because as you can see, 1 minute we have a great internet connection, the next minute it's junk, and then the next minute it's good again. And a company did send me a wireless bridge, as I mentioned. I just got it yesterday, and I'm hoping that will solve the problem, but I don't have time to install and configure it. And anyway, it's complicated. But let me move this out of the way, and I'll let you get to work. Do you want something to drink?
I'm good. Yeah.
Blue Moon, alcohol?
I've had 7 Red Bulls, so I'm.
You've had 7 Red Bulls?
So I'm.
So that
certainly
explains your wings.
fine. Okay. Yeah.
He's just a little guy here.
Little guy. All right. What do we got here? Ah, very tiny.
What is it with you just pointing out everything small today? Midget, tiny, little. What's going on?
All right.
You friends with Randy Newman all of a sudden? I don't understand what's
Short people. All right.
happening
So
right
we
now.
got that.
Wait, is there anything else in that box we need? Well, I mean, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that.
Yeah. We have our Wi-Fi and our. SATAs.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, there's nothing else. All right, now it's reconnected us. So what I'm going to do is I'll grab the. My friend Ron is suggesting we look at the layout of this motherboard versus the MSI to see the difference in what the cabling work would be. But my feeling right now is we'll build it with this board, since that's what the audience wants to see. And if I want to pursue changing it out to a micro ATX, then I will, I'll just pop this board out, pop the other one in, and see what the difference is myself, and maybe do a video on it. But yeah. And now we've dropped again, and now it's picking up again, and now we're okay. So let me go to the handheld camera, which is this one right here. And what are we doing first? I
Here's
lost
the
track.
Here's our storage. So I have to remove this and this. Is that a number 1? So we need our good screwdriver, right, to do this one and this one.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be magnetic. So
Do you like my overhead camera shot?
okay,
Why do you have to be so tall?
and this one. And as you can see, there is thermal pad
Yep, it's covered up with tape right now.
right now. And we'll put in our, ooh, take this out. You've seen we've got the gold notch. Yeah.
The gold notch. Is that what you just called
Yeah.
it? A gold notch?
Yeah.
What color is it? Wait, hold that again. Hold it real still. Let me see.
7 Red Bulls. Okay.
7 red
Yeah,
Bulls.
okay.
Wait, I can't find it. The camera. There it is.
The notch, yeah.
Well, it's not gold.
Fingers, you call them.
Golden fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the notch is not a finger. That's a missing finger.
Okay.
Do you want me to show you the difference? Where's my axe?
Okay. And
Sometimes lessons have to
then-
be
and
more
then- and then
hands-on.
this,
Fingers off.
oh, this needs to go into, yeah.
Okay, let me just try and hold the camera steady for 5 seconds
Are you ready?
before any. Wait. What are you gonna screw that down with, though? So the screws will be in one of the bags in the motherboard box. Well, you can go ahead and put that drive in place.
For the diving board effect, okay. Angle. Line up our magic fingers till they disappear and dunk.
Okay, and then it springs up and down.
Our little diving
And
board.
where's that gonna screw down at?
Right, yeah. And like Carey said, in the motherboard box here, there should be a bag with one lone. Ah, here it is. It even comes with its own stand, too.
Well, what's the point of this other standoff down here? What's that there for?
I don't know. Will it affect the board, or should we take it out? I don't
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if we need to take that out. I don't know why it's in there. Go ahead and remove that for me for a second. Let's see what that says. First of all, look underneath. Turn this around. Do we have anything to ground out against? No, there's no metal under there. What's going on with this standoff, though? It just says heat S. That's for a 2260.
Okay.
And where does this cover go when we put the cover back on? Let's just take a look, just visualize this. It's going to go to that hole there, that hole. So these two holes on this part,
Okay.
nothing holds it over there. So it looks like that is completely to remove that right there. So while it may not hurt anything, it also doesn't seem to have any benefit. So if you hold this for me, right, let's just back it up a little bit.
I got it.
Got it? Okay. I don't think that was supposed to come off.
Good thing you got 2 of these.
Well, it appears, if you look at that, it doesn't appear threaded, does it?
No.
So even though, like usually if they don't want you to take it off, it'd be rounded.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's got a hex edge on it, it looks like it's meant to go in and out. Maybe it just sits in there with friction. Now I don't know. Doesn't seem like that would. So why are they giving us a standoff here? My guess. Okay. My guess is this has to go in here first. Yeah. So you know what that tells us? That tells us this one would no longer. See how short that one is?
Yeah.
Well, with that piece put on top, there's definitely no worry of that hitting the back of the SSD. So I was a little premature in worrying about that and taking it out. It's not supposed to come out. That's obvious to me now, but I will never use this anyway. But for the rest of you watching, learn from my little mistake there, because I mean, technically that might be seen as damage. I don't know, but like I said, it's what's going to happen now is if I can set that back in. Now this is going to be straight. Before it was sort of leaning down. It's hard to tell at this angle. And then again, we're using the JIS Hozan 550 screwdriver. It's just a better fit for the head into the screw head for these really tiny screws. This driver is for M.2 installations and working on laptop hard drive replacements. Now, this tape can come off the bottom, exposing the thermal material. When you took this off, I noticed these little lines were facing that way, even though you could just line up the holes anyway. And that just rests gently on top. And then, again, the JIS driver for these little tiny screws is really beneficial. Makes life easier. Sticky tape is making it stick to everything. Go figure. I'm gonna put on my glasses, Mitch, so I can see.
Okay.
See how I just started it? Drive is in there now. This is quite squishy because we're going to be pressing down on that tape. This is more for aesthetics than it is for any real patient. But there's our M.2 drive installed. How about that?
CPU next. And of course,
What'd you call me?
You know you want me to do that.
Yeah, after 7 Red Bulls,
Yeah,
I think that,
okay.
you know, Mr.
All right.
Steady Hands should
Okay.
work with that delicate Velcro. Touchdown. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. Extra parts. Okay, CPU. Again, we've got the Core i5 10600K. Go faster sticker right there. This could go in the motherboard box when we're ready. There's another piece for the M.2 drive we don't need. That can go over there. Sorry, I had to clean up the desk a little bit. It's getting a little messy. There's our chip. Notice how I hold it. We'll go over to the motherboard. And we're going to release the locking latch here. Lift that up. Pull it up. And typically, on most boards, the writing faces you. But you can always look for that little golden triangle. And if we just randomly try to set this into the socket, if we get it right, it'll just sit perfectly. Did I get it right? If you look real closely with the camera, you'll see there's a little tiny notch right there. And on the opposite side, another little notch right where my pinky is. You'll also see that tiny golden arrow right down on there, and then this little dot. So this is in the socket, but it's not touching the little metal underneath until it gets pushed down. So that's what this does. This is going to push down on the CPU. So this lever is going to have a lot more resistance. And when it pushes, going to push this plastic top up all by itself. See that?
Yep.
And then we save this because if we ever have to return the board for warranty reasons, we have to remove the CPU. And you can't leave that socket exposed because it'll, if anybody bends the cardboard or anything, it'll damage the socket, and that's not a warranty issue. So you'll always put this on if you take a CPU out.
Okay, that'll go in the motherboard box. Yep.
Yeah, so this stuff right here, documentation. Can you lift the camera just a little bit? So the Intel documentation here, along with this plastic top. Oh, look at that. Look at that customer service I got. And I can put this little piece right here.
Yeah.
Just throw it in there, or whatever. And you know what? We can keep this. We shouldn't need it, but we'll just put it in there. Thanks, Mitch. All right, let's give Mitch a little break. We'll go back to camera 1 here for a moment. I'll take that from you. Thank you. So this connection's been pretty awful. I mean, we are really, probably one of the worst connections I've seen in a long time. I'm starting to wonder if I can try another connection here just to see what happens. And now that I've threatened it, it just went to the green. It's rough. There's a rough internet connection today.
So now it's time for the joke of the day. All right? You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Okay.
What do you call a rundown Italian neighborhood? Spaghetto.
Hey, you don't think that was funny? Hey, what's the matter with you? I thought it was funny.
I thought it was called Mitch.
Okay. Just trying to lighten things up. All right. So this is ready, right? Oh no,
You could have offended the entire. You could have just said Italy,
Oh, okay.
and then you would have.
Right,
It would have been much more offensive, and then that
Yeah.
to me is.
Oh, we got to put a cooler on. Yeah.
You only have one joke of the day, and you have another.
Yeah, that's why it's
Just
called,
the one?
That's why it's called joke of the day.
Oh, but what about you? Is it like joke du jour?
No. Now
I
again,
have to get something warm.
now again, because of the shape of the case, you can't put one of those beautiful talls on there. Coolers, talls, you know.
I think you've had one too many. Tolly Talls today.
yeah. Too many Red Bulls. So
Too many tall boys.
So do we need a low, what they call a low one, a low rise that it'll go under the dome, or I don't know. I mean,
Do we need a low-rise tall that'll go under the dome?
to go under the dome. That's a lot of technical words.
Now that's a funny joke.
Yeah, I fell for that one.
Somebody told me you sound like an owl. Boo.
Boo.
There you go.
All right.
And of course, that was a great joke, and it didn't go out.
Yeah. Well, it will on record. We don't need to show them this. I mean, you've got.
Well, no,
$1,000
they know how it's
videos.
done,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
can kind of, like this side has to open. I don't think this side opens because it would hit the
Right.
graphics card if one was to
Right.
be installed.
Here's our notch. Here's our golden
Start on the
fingers.
inside track so that the outside track much easier. Oh, he's really going to focus and concentrate on this one. Nope. Yep. That's why they have that notch. Troll McTrollington says those are typical dad jokes.
What am I doing wrong here? I don't want to put. I'm in the knot. Oh yeah, there you go. Now your thumbs. You should hear 2 clicks. That's Carey thinking. All right, here we go.
I thought that was the sound of
Yeah.
your
Okay.
thumbs.
Okay.
See?
Very nice. All right.
That's what happens when you get older. Everything's popping and clicking and snapping. Always bend the plastic.
In the plastic.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I see people, they grab the RAM and they start bending the RAM to get it out of the package. It's really focusing. Is that in the right direction? Yeah. Okay. There you go. See how he aligns it first before he puts any pressure down. Once he's aligned it into the track, you are not in the track
I know.
on that side.
No.
You know, sometimes See, sometimes when you put one side in before the other, then it won't go in and you have to take both sides out.
So it was cattywampus, right?
It was cattywampus.
Okay.
It is a tight fit, though.
Okay.
I mean, it's very tight.
Now?
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
What is that? What's a Fonzie?
The Fonz.
Yeah, but-
Happy Days. Hey.
Happy Days, what's that?
That's what he does. Hey. All right.
Oh, was that like, was that something to do with Dua Lipa?
Boom, just like that.
Well, we don't want it to go boom.
No, but we've installed our 16 gigs of Vulcan RAM.
Okay. What'd you call it?
Vulcan.
Don't swear.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so RAM, CPU, storage is all in there. And we need to make sure this board works before I put it in there. So let's grab that spare power supply and plug it in real quick. And let's grab just I'm going to throw an air cooler on top of here without any thermal compound just for testing.
Okay.
And I've got the air cooler that comes with a 10th gen chip, the non-K. So I will just plug this on, I don't know. Probably needs to go on this way. So that, I mean, we're really, let me bring this up to them. There's like not much once you get everything in there because it is a mini ITX board. Remember I told you the mini ITX boards, they only have 2 slots for RAM and then 1 slot right over here for a card that the board is good to go. We're not going to have any issues with compatibility or, you know, that we've installed everything correctly before we get it in that case, and then it starts to be a little more confined and more normally on a standard you test outside of the case. Okay, so then we're going to need, let's say I need an HDMI output since we're going to use onboard video. And we're going to need a keyboard and a mouse. Keyboard and mouse. Oh, you need a power cable. So here's a power cable for Mr. Mitch. Make sure that switch is off on the power supply, please.
Is that off? Circle is off?
Circle is off. Thank you. And then let's see, keyboard and mouse. That's what I was coming over here for. Keyboard and mouse. Keyboard and mouse. We'll get the little dongle out of the mouse. Put that there. Just plug the dongle in anywhere back here is fine. And then we need a switch to turn it on and turn it off.
Coming up.
Now, I don't know if that little thing is going to work on a mini ITX board. Yeah, it's not going to work because do we have just a separate power switch in there? Did I bring them over? You see how big this connector is? Yeah, that's exactly what I need right here. I've got some power switches right here. Stephen Schumacher contributes $5. He says, as promised. Well, thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. So we'll just keep that one in there as an extra. You can buy these on Amazon. It's just a momentary switch. And you can use those for power switches and reset switches. They're pretty universal in the industry. And then one of these connectors, it's usually on this Asus board. I think it's over here by this big power connector. Should be the power switch. So it should be this one right there. And then if this posts, we'll look and see what the BIOS version is and see if we can get a newer BIOS on here.
Okay.
Well, we've got it out of the box. And yeah, let's try this.
Chat loves a smoke test.
I also want to try, yeah, this internet's really bad. Let me try switching it over to something else.
Okay, hang with us, chat.
That kilobits per second is at 0. See, it instantly reconnected us. The problem is this connection that I've just connected us to the cap on it, the maximum speed is only 3. The one I was connected to, the maximum speed was 30. But if neither one of them are putting out a minimum of 3, then we're going to have this video going to be in real spotty and real bad. And you can see this is not working well at all. So I'm going to try one other thing. I've got a hotspot on my phone, but we were trying that earlier, and it also wasn't working good today.
Yet it has in the past.
It absolutely has, and I've turned the phone off and back on again. I plugged the phone directly in with a cable. Nothing is fixing this today. Like, we're just doomed today. But at least this connection, well, it's spotty. It's not dropping us entirely like the other one was. So what I need to do is just go into my phone options and turn my hotspot on. And I paid $75 for 20 gigs of data. And I can't even use it. At least it wasn't working before. Let's see if I can connect now to this. There's also a public hotspot, but the upload on that is even less than 3. So everything I turn to is just being very difficult with me today. But let's see, if I have the hotspot turned on, which I think I just did. Yeah, hotspot's on, so we should see it in my list of wireless connections in here. And it's not. Wow, look at how many are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29,
It's the whole
30,
neighborhood.
31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 connections. You think there might be some interference and crosstalk?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see this. It says it's connecting us. Now let's see if we get a better signal. It's still really bad. Yeah, no matter what I try, I can't even get. Honestly, I need like 4 or 5 megabits per second up. It's really not that big of an ask.
Right.
Unfortunately, though, it ain't my day. I mean, I'm trying, guys. This is now the 4th internet connection we've tried, and all 4 of them are just not working well today. Matt says I should just go to Studio A, just pack it in, load it all in the car, and take it over to Studio A. If that was an option, I would certainly do that, but unfortunately, that's just not an option.
Jimmy loves me. Where's Uncle Mitch? He gives me nice pets.
He's a good boy.
Yeah.
I just saw both of them. I saw Jimmy and Lyle yesterday, and gave Lyle his rub down, and he sticks his nails out into the wall, turns his head and just rub his belly. Yeah, so it's pretty rough. I mean, this connection right now that's costing me $75 for 20 gigs has no better of an upload speed.
Than that public Wi-Fi?
No, it's better than the public Wi-Fi, but the one here in Studio B is only 3 up. So we're getting mostly 2, and then it kind of peaks out at 3, and then it goes back down to 2. It's a little all over the map on this. So I don't know. The difference that we're seeing right now, what Mitch and I are seeing, is that we're staying connected. With the other connection, it would be good for a while and then completely disconnect. So what's probably happening is we're getting a lot of dropped frames right now, but the audio should still be coming through no matter what.
Okay.
Right? So at least you can get the audio, but when we do the other connection, you get the video and audio beautifully, and then you get nothing.
Right.
So, and then a mixture therein.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else to do. I mean, I'm just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Thomas Robinson contributes £1.99. Thank you, Thomas. Thanks for supporting the channel as we work through.
This Freaky Friday, yeah.
It's challenging. You can imagine what it feels like to be me, and I'm trying to do a
Very unique build.
very unique build, and I want you to be able to see it.
Yeah.
But it looks like it may be something we are going to, I don't know, maybe complete it offline, because this is as bad as I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
A few more tricks up my sleeve here. Well, not a few more. I have like one more trick up my sleeve. Let's see. Now look, it went into the green just briefly, and now it's dropped into there. So no matter what connection I'm using, Even when I plug the phone directly in with a USB cable, this should be a 5G connection, and it's just not. Yeah, it ain't working. Oh, you know what? Now we're connecting. Ooh, that's worse. This doesn't make any. So I think was the Wi-Fi is connected to the network in here, right? So when I made this a hotspot, I think to save mobile data, it forces it onto the Wi-Fi. So I turn the Wi-Fi off on the phone. So it forces the mobile data, and now that mobile data that's as bad as I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll give it a second to try and.
Hey, Larry Wood, with a $20 contribution.
I'm trying to think if I hold it up, maybe I get a better signal. Hey, it's kind of working.
Let me hold
So I just have to stand like this all day.
Yeah, let me hold it. Yeah.
I wonder if I can you put this on top of the blinds? Let's see if it still works.
I'd rather not because I don't want it to.
Just tilt it against the wall.
This way or this way?
Just like that, yeah. And then just face it forward and leave it right there. Now it just dropped the connection. Wait, just leave it. It's coming back. It's working. All right, let's just not forget it's there before it falls and hits the tile and breaks my phone. Totally worth it. Larry Wood with a $20 contribution. Thank you, Larry. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry for that. We've got the phone up on top of the header of the blinds towards the ceiling, and we got a good connection. Look at that. It works.
I'm sweating though with that.
Well, that's not going to move.
No, I mean, I wish you had a step stool so I'd like you to check
So
it.
I can kick you in the
No,
butt?
no. So if it falls off, it's your problem, it's not mine. But you know,
Why would it fall?
I don't know.
That doesn't move.
Right.
It's steady. I mean,
Yeah.
unless somebody opens the blinds or goes out that door.
Okay.
Don't let me forget it's there, though.
No. Smoke test is what we were doing.
Yeah, thank you.
So you'll have to switch over to.
So we have the switch.
Okay.
Okay. We got video. We have the keyboard and mouse over there.
Yep.
Go ahead and hit the switch on the power supply. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here to, let's see, put us right back up in here. How about that? Okay. And now you can hit that power button and let's see what smoke comes out.
Here we go, chat.
All right. Fan is spinning.
Did I not hit it?
No.
Oh, there we go.
It turned itself off because it's got to train the CPU and the memory.
Okay.
Basically, get to know them, figure out how to adapt. So that's what the BIOS does on a first power on.
Stealth mode working perfect now. Thanks, Mitch, for being tall. All right.
You're my antenna man.
Yeah. Okay.
There's Superman and there's Batman.
So
but they can't help you with Wi-Fi problems.
right.
You need antenna man.
Right. Toto man. So do you think this will need a BIOS? What do you think? How old is
Yeah,
that
I
board?
bet. Well, I've had it for a few months. I would be surprised if it
Surprised?
didn't. Now, we've been waiting for some time for something to happen.
Don't panic. It takes a while to think.
I didn't turn the camera output on. That was my bad. I didn't
okay.
click it on OBS to bring it up. So what BIOS version does this say we've got? This says it recognizes the i5 10600K
BioRevision 0211.
0211. Okay. Now I'm going to hit F1 here on the keyboard.
Okay.
F1. And then we should see that go into the BIOS, and yeah, and then we can see BIOS version 0211. And now what I need to do is go onto the streaming computer here,
Okay.
and we'll type into Google, we'll type in ASUSROG Strix STRIX B460-I gaming. And then the first link that Google shows us should be it should take us to rog.asus.com. And I'll share the screen with everybody in a minute. Let me just bring the site up. It's still really slow. Let's see. Sooner or later, it will appear. We should be able to, let's see, what is it, camera 3? Oh no, that's window capture. We turn on window capture. Is that not working? Oh, it is working. All right, so this is the motherboard,
Yes.
right? And there's the link for it up there. This is just very slow in loading. We'll go to support. Not the support up here. This one is like for generic support.
Right.
This one is for support for that product.
BIOS and drivers.
Everybody does. MSI does this. ASRock does this. Gigabyte does this. So when we click on support, we want to bring up drivers and utilities, and then BIOS and firmware.
Okay.
And we'll see the latest version is 1101, which is a very different numbering system.
Yeah.
Because we had,
0211.
so it was 0211, right?
Mhm.
I guess that makes sense. So it would have gone 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, and then 10,
Okay.
right? Following the logic there?
Not really, but okay.
Well,
You
the
said
first
so.
two
Yeah,
numbers.
right.
First two numbers. So
Yeah.
we're at 20.
Okay.
No, sorry. We're at 11. Version
Yeah.
1101.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to download that. And that's going to put it down here.
Okay.
And again, it's really, really slow. So we're just bear with us as we.
But at least, the connection's not dropping.
No, the connection's
Yeah.
been, at least it's been prioritizing
Right.
the upload. It's been good. So now I don't feel bad about spending the $75. Now I'll extract that zip file. There's going to be two files in this zip file, which I'm going to put on the screen here. And what you see, normally you get like 4 files when you download a BIOS. There's usually like a README file. There's usually a DOS executable. And then the biggest file, if you look over here at the size, the big file, if you don't know anything else, just know the big file is the one you want. And then we can extend this out if we want to see the full name of it. And what I'm going to do is grab my BIOS flash drive. So if we go back to you and I here, I've got this little 2 gig BIOS flash drive. It's important. If you want to not have any problems, you want to use the smallest flash drive you've got, formatted in just FAT format.
Okay.
Because if it's NTFS, which some larger flash drives have to have, there's a lot of computer motherboards, especially older ones, that just won't see it at all. So I'll plug that into the streamer. And there's nothing on this flash drive. I do that on purpose so that I don't have to look through a bunch of files to find the one I want or accidentally pick the wrong one. So I'm going to just copy and paste from the extracted file over to the flash drive.
Okay.
And it's only an 8 megabyte file, so it's already done. It's already done. So I can close those windows. Then I'm going to grab this. I don't even have to safely remove it. Just pull it out, and then I'll plug it into any USB port back here. It won't matter. And I'm going to just let it sit there for just a moment. Will it, like when you plug anything in your computer's USB port, it doesn't instantly recognize. It takes a second. So now that I've stalled, I will, let's go full screen so you and I can see. We'll go full screen here. And we're going to go to Tool over here on the, okay. So at this point, I've got to use this other keyboard. And I'm going to go to where it says Tool. And it says ASUS Easy Flash Utility. It's the first thing that's highlighted at the top. I'll just push Enter. And hopefully it sees the file, but we're in the way. So let me get rid of us.
Okay.
And the file that we want is not listed here, but I do see that there's a very small, you see it's listing 4 different drives. that's got to be the SSD that we put in. The M.2 drive must have a format on it from the last time I used it.
Ah,
So unfortunately, I don't see the flash drive. And once again, I have to make the screen big for Mitch and I so we can see what we see. This FS3, it says it's 1917 megabyte. That's 2 gigs. That sounds like my flash drive.
right.
So I'll click once. Yep, there's the file right there.
Okay.
Click once. Do I want to read it? Yes. Give it a second. So now it confirms that that is the right BIOS. If this was a BIOS for a different motherboard, it would have said it's not valid.
Right.
So it just verifies that it's valid, and I'll say yes, I want to update. And then we will sit here a moment.
Hands off, no touchy.
That's right. No means no.
Yeah.
Ooh, listen to that fan crank up. So while we're waiting for that, let me just take a quick look in the chat room. They said, I hope your phone is not on vibrate. The phone goes into do not disturb mode, which I've talked about that in the past. It's the best feature on any phone is to put it on do not disturb. Unless you like to be the slave to other people. The bell is ringing, answer it. That's your job, slave. So by putting the phone in do not disturb, I am the master, and I will check my phone when I feel like it, and it won't interrupt a live broadcast.
You,
So no, it's
you
not
realize with my cell phone, nobody ever calls me. So basically, I pay $100 a month
That's not true.
for a watch.
Every time I talk to Mitch, the phone rings in the background. And every time it's his 85-year-old neighbor.
Next door
I'm
neighbor.
like, how often does she call you?
Right,
He's like, she hasn't called me all day.
right.
I think she hears you talking through
wall-
the
yeah,
walls.
the walls are very thin.
And she's like, oh, I should see what Mitch is up to and interrupt whatever he's doing.
Right.
No, she seems like a very nice
Yeah.
lady, and it's nice to know that somebody's looking out after you. You need a you need a little.
Well, again, she's never been married.
Supervision.
Yeah, she's never been married. I've never been married, so she lost me. Oh.
Terry Sanders with a $5 contribution
Hey.
says, have a couple of cold Cokes. You've both been working hard keeping this live stream going. Well, I just had to use Antenna Man.
Man, yeah.
All right, where are we at on this? We're
Pretty
almost done.
close, yeah. Yeah,
Now, this is going to automatically restart itself.
okay.
Right? So when it's done, it's going to let us know that it's done, and it's going to let us know it's going to reboot. Usually it counts down. But I'm going to remain
Hands-free.
hands-free. I'm not going to touch the keyboard. I'm not going to touch the mouse. And the system is going to shut itself off
At least once.
at least once. See how it came up with
Right.
that? So if we
There's
put
one.
ourselves right there in the corner,
There's
you'll
once.
see the system turned itself off. Now it's back on again.
So that's
And
once.
we're not touching it.
That's once.
And this sometimes just takes once.
Okay.
Other times it go 4 or 5 times. So just watch the fan. Yeah, it just took once.
Okay.
Oh no, it's still the message on the screen says it's still updating the BIOS. I'm not accustomed to seeing that, but that's clearly, well, there it goes. It just shut itself off again.
At 2.
So once again, we will, I'll put myself up here, put us both up there. But yeah, so it's, we run third reboot now.
Okay.
Again, still hands off. This is what you want to see. You want to see either an error message come up that there's no bootable device or whatever, or it'll take you right back into the BIOS. That's how you know when it's done.
But you think you might have something on that storage drive,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's not important. In other words, you could wipe it out.
Oh yeah. But normally I do that so that it acts like new when I use it again.
Okay.
But for some reason, I got really busy, and thank goodness I put it where I could find it.
Yeah.
Count our blessings. But I'm done with the flash drive. I'm going to remove the flash drive, and I will erase this later because we don't need that file anymore.
Okay.
Now, we're going to hit, is it F1, I think, to go in the BIOS or something? Let's see what it does. I don't know. Yeah. And then after you update the BIOS, this is something I completely forgot about, but recently during a live video, I was reminded that you should always load the default values in the BIOS. This is why you don't want to overclock or anything unless you write down all your settings. Because if you do a BIOS update, you'll lose everything.
There's
So-
our new BIOS version, 1101.
Oh, was it in there?
Yep. Right there.
Okay, yeah,
1101,
yeah. So
right there.
1101.
Yep.
And then if we go over to exit, there should be like a load optimized defaults. Yep, there it is. Every motherboard manufacturer will have that. And I'll hit enter and OK. And then I'm going to save changes and reset. Now this may boot, even though it says you've not made any changes. I don't really know that I believe that, but I'm going to do it anyway, just to make sure. This may boot to the Windows 10 that's on that on that M.2 drive we installed, but I'm still going to have to reinstall regardless.
Okay.
Right, but that just shows you can move. Many times you can move a Windows installation from one machine to another. Now that it just did on its own. Let's see what it's going to do here. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, it's loading Windows 10.
Yeah, you got Windows on it? Well, good, good.
I don't know whose this was though.
Oh,
User.
okay. Very common. All right.
And then
No password.
it's going to detect a bunch of new drivers and stuff.
Okay.
Now, I'm not comfortable using an install like this that was built on other hardware because it's not a good stable platform, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is we'll click, where's my mouse? We'll click no on this. And, well, whatever it was, I didn't do much to it. Like it doesn't have Uncle Carey's Windows 10 optimizer because this would all be shown.
Right.
The My Computer icon would be on there. So I don't feel bad about wiping it out and starting over. And that takes me to another quick tip I've been meaning to make. So here's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to tap the power button. That should cycle the power off. Yeah, and it did. And we'll go back to camera 1, full screen, which is Control F. Camera 1, Control F. There we are.
But if you're going to do a quick tip, you don't want me in there. So I better step out and you do your quick tip so Planet Cryos can.
Well, I can give the quick tip to you while they watch.
Okay.
All right, so
Oh, yeah.
that's just rude.
Okay.
That's how you know he's getting old. He's taking naps.
Yeah. I might be narcoleptic. All right.
You know, I think that's how you can tell the difference between a child and an adult.
Mm-hmm.
When you're looking forward to taking a nap,
Yeah.
you're an adult. I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to go to bed. Get out of my way. I want to go to bed.
I never take naps because I sleep in because I don't work for a living. So I sleep as long as
What do you call this?
Till my eyes open up. This is sleepwalking, not a nap.
Well, then I'll see if you're not working. I guess you don't have to pay you then.
Oh yeah, there goes that $1.50 an
Get you,
hour.
I'll get you a new pillow.
Yeah, okay.
I think that pillow guy is.
Yeah, my pillow. Oh, okay.
All right. So anyway, so one of the questions I get is I want to sell a computer to somebody, or I want to wipe out a drive. I want all my data off of it. But there's different ways of wiping the data from drives. You can do secure erases, which are far more complex and can take many, many hours
Okay.
and require a bit of technical knowledge. Or you can just wipe the drive if you're just going to sell it generically or give it to a family member or a trusted friend. Like if I send you a drive, I don't expect that you're going to run a scan of everything on the drive to see what you can recover, although nothing would stop you from doing it. I just don't think you could be bothered. However, if you did have that concern, then you'd want to do a secure erase, and they do make hardware and software for that. We're not going to do that today. What I want to show you today is when you have a drive like this and you just want it basically erased, or you want to reset it. There are two different ways that you can go about doing that. Windows 10 should never require you to get the installation media. Everything you need to reinstall Windows 10 is already in Windows 10.
Okay.
So what I want to do first of all is we're going to boot this back up, back into Windows 10, and I'm going to show you how to do the in-place reset. Just like you would do, have you ever turned a phone back in? And you go to the menu and you say, reset this phone? and it warns you it's going to erase all your pictures, it's going to erase all your data, and then you can then securely turn that phone in or sell it to somebody with no worries of your data getting out. Well, Windows 10 does that too.
In the device manager or no?
It's not in the device manager, but it's if we go to camera 2, okay, so it did boot. Let's go to well, Mitch and I have to go to full screen.
But you're telling me you will not lose Windows. It'll wipe it, or you will lose Windows.
It will wipe. Like, let's say I had software and pictures,
Right.
and I'm going to sell this to a customer.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to give it to you or something.
What kind of pictures? Oh, just family.
They're pictures of you that you don't know I took.
Okay.
So I'd rather you didn't see them.
Yeah, that's true.
So here under settings, we're going to go to update and security. Once we're in update and security, we're going to go to recovery. Once we're in recovery, we have reset this PC.
Okay.
It says if your PC isn't running well, resetting it might help. So we'll click get started. Now, do you want to keep your files or do you want to remove everything? So if you have kind of a computer that's acting up and you want to do a reinstall, but you're worried about what about my files and my settings? This will remove all of your programs, but it will keep your documents and pictures and music.
Okay.
Right? So if you're like, well, the reason you don't want to do a reinstall is you don't have your product keys anymore. Right. Neither one of these options is going to be helpful to you. But if you were just going to download Windows 10 and reinstall it again, you don't have to download Windows 10. You just click remove everything.
Okay.
We click that, and now when it's done, it says, all right, it just wants to make sure that you're absolutely going to lose all your stuff. You see the change settings button right there? It says just remove your files. This is quicker but less secure. No. We want to do, we'll confirm this, we want to wipe and reset of Windows 10. Okay. So we'll hit next. And it says, it's warning you, we're going to remove all your personal files and accounts. If you have multiple accounts, they're going to be gone. Okay. We're going to remove any changes that you made to Windows, any, like Uncle Carey's Windows optimization tool, blah, blah, blah. We're going to remove all the apps and programs. We're going to reinstall Windows, and it's going to take a while. And we hit reset. Now that, it sometimes takes longer, okay. But at least you don't have to make a flash drive and download the media and go through all that stuff. This just happens automatically for you. Once it's complete, then all your Windows updates will have to be applied. So what that means is, and this is an important caveat for you guys to consider. What that means is if you originally installed Windows 2009 on here, it's going to put it back to 2009.
Okay. So
you're going to have to reinstall 20H2 when you're done. Along with it's removing all the updates, everything, drivers, everything. Just as though it's a brand new install.
Okay.
But the shortcut is that you don't have to get a flash drive and make a Windows 10 installation media. It's already there. On the other hand, if it's going to reset it back to an older version of Windows, then it's going to take longer to get all the updates than it would if you just made a flash drive, right, stuck it in there, and then anybody who resets it from that point forward will reset back to the version you installed today. So these are all decisions you get to make, right? It's up to you what you want to do. Then there's the option of, well, what if I just want the drive reset? Like, I'm not going to use the drive. I'm going to sell the drive, right? So I don't want Windows on it.
Blank. You just want a blank.
I want it blank. How do we do that? Well, there I've got a quick tips video that shows the disk part command where you can manually do it in DOS, and that makes people nervous. And if it means you've got to plug the drive into another computer, now things are getting a little bit too technical. So how do we leave it in there and still reset it?
You format it.
Well, no, because we've got partitions though.
Oh,
right.
That's
so
true.
What we would do, so right now Windows is still resetting. If we go back and just check on that, how's it? Yeah, so it's going to be doing this for a few minutes. Now, because I don't care about seeing this through, I just wanted to show everybody that's the process. We can just go ahead and turn this off. I'll hold the power button in until the thing goes off here. Okay, so that's shut down. Which, by the way, when your Windows is in a process, never shut it down. But again, we're not We don't care. So here I'm going to grab my Windows 10 flash drive.
With the latest.
This has got the latest Windows, which is 20H2 as of today, May the 14th. Is it the 14th?
Felt more like Friday the 13th
Yeah, I know, for sure.
with our bad luck.
But now what I want to do is instruct the motherboard to boot from that flash drive instead of booting
Right.
from the M.2. So we'll turn this back. Well, first of all, I got to put the screen back on. Okay, so we got the no signal thing. I'm going to turn this back on and hit, I think it's F12. F12? Yeah, see, it's still booting from the, it's still trying to do the recovery.
Right.
Now it's undoing the changes. I don't want any of that. I want to do, we'll just go into the BIOS. So hit delete on the keyboard. Get me in the BIOS. BIOS, please. There we go. And while we're in the BIOS, we'll go to, we go to exit. Oh, I got to use the other mouse. We'll go to exit. Right up here. And we want to change, well here, boot. We want to boot right here. So I just click that. See, it's under boot override. So now it should boot to the flash drive, which is a Windows 10. It's the same Windows 10 installation media you've seen me use a million times before. So we're just going to do the same thing we always do, right? We click next, we click install now. We need to pick a version of Windows. We need to agree to the end user license agreement. We tell it we do not have a product key. We want Windows 10 Pro, although this technically doesn't matter, but I just like to keep everything the same. Click next. So again, end user license agreement. Then it's going to say what kind of install. We always want to choose custom. Now you see all the existing partitions?
Right. You want
Click
to
on each one time, and then hit delete.
It'll warn you. Yeah.
Yeah. One time, delete. Do that for the 4 partitions on that drive. When you're done, it'll just look like a brand new drive. Drive 0, unallocated space. When you watch me put a new drive into a new build, and I go to install Windows, that's what that screen always looks like.
Yep.
So right now, if I turn the machine off, so if you hold the power button in, go ahead and grab the power button and just hold it in until you see the fan stop spinning. That'll force a power off. Perfect. You can let the button go. That means now we have completely erased that drive to the condition it was in when it came out of the box when it was brand new.
Right.
There are no partitions on it, no formats,
No.
no windows, no data.
No picture.
Now, if there was data on it and somebody had the tools and the knowledge on how to retrieve it, they could. But for most of us, that's good enough, right? So it's not a secure erase, but for most people, they wouldn't know how to move beyond that anyway. That drive is wiped, and I can prove it. If you turn the machine back on, I won't have to tell it to boot to the flash drive because it can no longer boot to that. So go ahead and power it back on, and I'll put us back to, actually, I'll put us back in a corner over here. Well, that boots. And the machine will have no choice but to boot to that flash drive now. Is this plastic on here? Excuse me. Zoom tight. It's like a little, there's plastic on there. Okay, so when we're back to the same, are you gonna get it?
Can I do it?
Yeah. Whee! All right, so again, we're back to the same install, right? Just as though this was a brand new, like I'd never used it before.
Okay.
This was brand new out of the box. It's never been used. Once again, I'm going to get rid of us in the corner for a moment so we can focus on the screen. And we'll go through the exact same steps. You remember what the steps were?
Next.
Mm-hmm.
Install now.
Yep.
I don't have a product key.
Correct.
Windows 10 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Next. must accept.
You must accept.
Custom.
Yep.
And that should be blank. There it is.
And that looks just like any brand new drive taken fresh out of the box. Whether it's a solid state drive, whether it's M.2, whether it's SATA, NVMe, it's always the same. And because we only have one drive plugged into the motherboard, the flash drive doesn't even show up as an option because Windows is smart enough to know that it's loaded from that. And then that's how we would then install Windows. So let's go ahead and install Windows, right? Since we don't know what version we were resetting.
We'll get it loaded. And I wish I was. All right, here we go. Here we go right now.
And there it is. Now that's going to automatically put those 4 partitions, format them, and then put the Windows 10 installation files over.
Yeah, fast, because that's a...
And there you go. That's how that's done. Yep. We'll bring us back. There we are. So while we're waiting, if anybody has any questions for me or for Mitch, please ask in the chat room. Ooh, listen to that fan cranking up. So do you see, did we miss anything in the chat? Glenn's Music says, spoiler, he's done this installation process once before.
Yeah, or
You think?
twice, yeah.
Once or twice.
About 1,000 times, yeah. Yep. Matt Power, bless you, Mitch. Well, Matt, I must tell you, if my halo dropped any lower, it'd be a noose. So, no, I'm a good boy. I mean, old man. All right, so I'm enjoying this Friday. I'm glad that you figured out the connection. It just shut off and it rebooted again.
I'm getting a little peckish, Mitch.
Yeah? What are you thinking tonight?
I don't know. I didn't really give it any thought.
Thought.
What do you, pizza, wings, steak, lobster?
Lobster thermidor. I don't care.
You don't care?
You're not a sushi eater, so you don't like it.
No. Arby's? Buffalo Wild Wings,
that's
cold
true.
beer and cheeseburgers?
I haven't been there.
Maybe we need to go there.
You
Get
like that, don't you?
We can get cold beer and cold cheeseburgers.
Or is it cold cheeseburgers and warm beer? Look at that. We're already booting up.
Should you update your BIOS every time a new one is released? That's a decision you have to make. With every BIOS update, there are benefits. The BIOSes are not released for the heck of it. You may choose to only install a BIOS if you need it. That means you are a reactive person. Or you can update a BIOS before you might need it, and that's called being proactive. However, in particular with some AMD motherboards, there may be some warnings that those latest BIOSes are only for compatibility with the latest chips, and that you cannot undo it once it's done, and that if you have an older chip that the BIOS doesn't support, the new BIOS won't support it, then you will cause a problem.
So that old wives, your machine's working well on the BIOS that you have, leave it alone.
I would, well, here's the difference. Like when customers pay me to work on their computers as a qualified technician with over 30 years of professional experience, I will always update a motherboard's the BIOS of a motherboard for all of my customers universally. But what I need to start watching out for is to ensure that and it's too early. Nobody's brought me any of these, the latest boards from AMD, where they're doing this. They're making the boards compatible with the latest chips at a cost of making them incompatible with some of the oldest chips. So you've got to be careful with that. Then that's never really been an issue in the past, but it's becoming one because of this. AMD has one of the worst socket designs. They're still using pins on the bottom of the CPU, and they yank out and potentially damage it when the heatsink won't become unglued. And as far as I am concerned, I would like nothing better than to see the AM5 socket come out
Okay.
so that we don't have these kinds of problems.
Okay.
This is related, I'm just one, this is related to keeping that same AM4 socket this many years. You're going to potentially have these problems.
Should we reset or continue on with our?
Yes. So now, got to make this full screen so we can read it. There you go. So we'll just click yes, and yes, and skip,
To my Lou, my darling. Okay.
and click I don't have internet,
That's for sure.
and continue with limited setup.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll put the name user, just like it was. And next. For password, just hit next, leave it blank.
And we'll unclick all these but location.
Yes. That's it. And then accept. And not now. It's going to ask you again. Oh, no, it didn't. All right. And now it just finalizes the Windows 10 install. And while we're waiting for that, I can actually reach over here and just pull that out. Put it aside. So again, all that safely removed stuff, you don't have to do that anymore. As long as you know for a fact nothing is being written to or read from that flash drive, you can just pull it out.
And what do you think? We won't do the updates on it. We'll put it in the spaceship, or what do you think?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Russell wants to know if they fixed the wonky update that was causing issues with Outlook. That update was fixed within 2 to 3 hours after I posted the video, and it was automatically submitted. It's all done. My guess would be that if you're not having problems with Outlook today, that it should be pretty obvious. In other words, if somebody says to me, hey, what's the problem with the Microsoft update? I go, well, what problem are you having? They'd say, well, I'm not having any problem. I say, well, then there's no problem with the update. This only affected people that had a problem. So if you didn't have the problem, you wouldn't know that the problem existed or that the problem was fixed. And if you did have the problem, you would know that, of course, the problem was fixed. So, yeah, it was dealt with within 2 to 3 hours after I posted that video. It was fixed.
Did you want to put Uncle Carey's optimizer? Or you don't even.
No, not right now. Okay, so I need to go full screen on this so I could see it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it wants, I guess we can click get started, even though it doesn't have any internet connection. But I just want it out of the way. I'm going to say no to that. Complete setup on that. Continue without signing in. Perfect. Now we'll shut this down. Okay. We'll put us back on full screen. And now we can put this board into that case. And I'm just going to leave that cooler on it for now, just so we can move things along. But we can go ahead and remove everything we've attached here, like because I wouldn't sell it like this.
Right.
So that if I'm using that, I know that's temporary.
Yeah.
That's just,
Okay.
that's my own system.
And we're gonna remove that and take those off.
That's one. Russell says, I don't use Outlook. I was asking for my boss. Well, again, having the issue that basically the question should have been to your boss, are you still having the problem? Right? Because if we're making an assumption that the boss's issue is the same issue that we were talking about. If the boss's issue is the same problem we were talking about, then asking the boss, do you still have the problem? You'd know the answer. If the boss says, yes, I'm still having the problem, then that is a different problem from what we were doing. What are you pointing at?
Oh, went down to red again.
Oh, our connection was weak?
Yeah, spiked up.
Okay, so we need the case. And we're done with that. This can go in the motherboard box. Perfect. All right, bring it over here. All right, we're back in business. We're back on track. So we're gonna just remove these wire ties. If you are supporting, here's a piece of advice from your Uncle Carey. If you are supporting somebody who uses Office 365, like Outlook and Word, Excel, I would highly recommend that you follow Office 365 on Twitter so you can be made aware and alert of any known issues and their current status. The Microsoft team will tell you much, much sooner and more reliably than listening to anybody on the, random YouTubers. Get it right from the horse's mouth, and then you don't have to wait and wonder until you have an opportunity to ask the Microsoft team. And then, by the way, this is true of a lot of products. They have a Twitter feed. And even if you don't use Twitter, it's worth signing up just to follow those particular things to be alerted if you're in a support position. Best recommendation I've got. Now, when it comes to these front port headers, they're obviously running out through this one wiring hole. And then we've got some Velcro ties, some nylon zip ties, and some screws in this bag that we're going to need 4 screws. On these mini ITX boards, you put 1 screw in each corner. So we need 4 screws universally on all mini ITX boards. So I'm not sure which one of these it is, but we can just check to see. It's definitely not going to be a pointy one. These are the fine. Is this a fine thread? That's a fine thread. That's not working, so maybe it's the traditional coarse thread screw. No, that's not working either. So now I need to get the glasses out and see what I can, if there's another type of screw in here. There isn't. There's a lot of these fine ones, so maybe it's the fine ones then. Let's see. It is the fine ones. So we need 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we will put those, the rest of these rather, back in this bag. Now, I'm going to put you back to work with the handheld camera.
You want me on this side?
Yeah, in fact, I'll work from this side too. So I'll give you that. And then we'll switch over to that input, which is camera number, is that 3? I think that's 3. Yeah, okay. And then, like I said, I'm gonna just put this in here with this cooler for now.
Okay.
Get that out of the way. This has its own built-in I/O shield, so we don't have to worry about putting an I/O shield in. You will see that it's going to be right up underneath these fans. It's going to be a tight fit. Some people may find it easier to take those fans out, but I'm kind of stubborn about that. And you see the posts down here, how they're going to align with each mounting hole. There's one in each corner.
Yep.
Nothing really holds that in. Like the center post that we have on micro ATX and ATX builds does not exist on mini ITX. And because we're working with something so small, did I not take the other screw out of here? Yeah, I left it in there. Okay, here we go. just get these started. I would normally go to an opposite corner here, like I mentioned earlier, just to help keep things aligned. I'm going to give this a bit of a rotation so I can see over there. I don't know if you noticed how the board automatically, like it moved on its own to get that alignment. That's better. And then just the last one is going to go way back into this corner, way back here. And like that. And we'll just tighten these 4 screws down. Now, if you're a novice builder, you should be tightening screws by hand. It's okay to use an electronic driver to remove screws, but definitely as a novice, I would not recommend using an electronic driver for a novice, unless you're taking screws out. So here we've got, what is this? This is the HD audio connector. This is the, what is this? I guess I need my glasses back. This is the hard drive LED. And so all of our connectors, they go right down here next to the power connector on a mini ITX board. Normally this connector is down here, but this board spacing doesn't allow for that. There's some kind of wonky connector here. I don't know what's going on with that. And this cable's interwoven between it, which bothers me. This cable is, what does this say? It says this is USB 2, and USB is right here. It says USB right on it. There's a pin missing on the bottom right here. There's a pin missing on the connector where it's blocked. We know that has to go on. Can you see that okay? Can you come around? Can you maybe come at it like from here? There we go. So that's going to go right on there. Just like this. Perfect. And then somewhere in here, what's this? That's some kind of power cable or something. What's this one? This one says it's the power LED, which is split with 2 cables. And we'll put these 2 right above the hard drive LED, which I can't see. So I'm going to take the hard drive LED off of there for a moment, so I can plug in the positive, negative. Positive has to go towards the edge. That one there. Now I can put the hard drive one back on, right behind it. And then this one, oh, that's the same. I keep seeing the same cable. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get that down. I don't want to look at that. This one right here is the power switch, though there is no reset switch. So you see it says power switch. And that goes where we just had the temporary cable, the temporary power switch we were using, which was on these 2 pins. Right there. Okay. What is this? Oh, this is HD audio, which I don't know why they've got it coming through here. Well, for now, I guess I'll just leave it. But that goes in this left quadrant, even on micro ATX and ATX boards. It's always in this left quadrant. So they kept that anyway as part of the standard. And then as far as like these connectors here, we have, this one is intertangled, interwoven, bothers me. Everything else is, there's some wire ties down here. So we're going to need to grab a couple of cables to plug into the back of the power supply. And I think, you know, look, we can take this piece, looks like it comes out. But I think it'd just be a lot easier if I take the power supply out and just hook the cables up and stick the power supply back in again. What do you say?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and then there's our USB 3 cable, which goes here. Okay. All right. So we'll come around here. And I'm going to take the frame. We'll leave the power supply screwed to the frame. We're going to take the frame out. See why those are there now?
Yep.
And we're going to hook up cables. So going back to the bag of cables that came with the power supply, we are going to need, let's see, the power cable needs to go into the motherboard box. Don't want to forget that. These are just regular SATA cables. More SATA cables. Video power. There's the Molex. We're going to need one of those. More Molex. More video power. Motherboard power. CPU power. I think that's all we need, if I'm not mistaken. Hope I'm not wrong.
You know, that bag would make a nice shaving kit, you know, when you travel.
Well, maybe when I get old enough to shave, I
Okay.
can look into it. All right. All right, so all I'm going to do right now is just plug everything into the power supply. So this big 24-pin motherboard cable has a large connector right here. That goes to the motherboard. This one right here is the one that goes to the power supply. And these two connectors, they're the only two that size on the back of the power supply. And you'll see the clip, and you see the little notch cut out for the clip. So that's going to go just like that. Oops. And like that. So that's our main 24-pin power connector. Then with the CPU power, this one gets a little bit confusing because this connector says on it, I mean, if you look, they both have 8 pins, right? If I hold these together. But they're nice enough to say this end goes to the power supply, this end goes to the motherboard. Now, they don't need to write this down because some motherboards only take a 4-pin, and this one doesn't split. Also, when you put these two together, you see how big the connector is?
Yep.
You can't,
Right.
that hole's not big enough. Can you see the fine writing written down by each connector? What does that one say? CPU, right? Just it's upside down.
Yep.
So we take the, even though it says PSU, this is the CPU power. And I like how NZXT did this, that all of your motherboard power connectors are on the bottom row and nothing else is on the bottom row. So every motherboard will use all these connectors. Every motherboard, whether it's mini ITX, micro ATX, or ATX, you will fill that entire bottom row universally with no exceptions. Now, if you had another CPU power connector, they do give you another one up here. But the rest of these are going to be for your SATA and your Molex power connectors, and then your video card power connectors, and that's all there is. So I'm going to need the Molex power connector for the LEDs and the fans and such to run. So we'll go ahead and just hook this one other cable up, unless you don't want the LEDs lit up. And I'll go ahead and plug that in. Once again, it's kind of written upside down here, but it says peripheral and SATA. And I suppose I'll just start here on the end just to make it look pretty. Then I can take all of these cables and feed them in like so. There we go. And we'll slide that in. And you know, now that it's been in and out once, it went in a lot easier now. Remember that struggle you had?
I don't.
You don't remember it? It was so traumatic you blanked it out.
I don't.
Blocked it.
I don't recall, Your Honor. All right.
See how I do the opposite corners?
Yeah.
That sounded weird, didn't it? And then I'll just tighten it down a little bit more. I feel like it's screwing down into plastic, which doesn't instill much confidence.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to strip it out if I over tighten it. But that's good enough. So now, with the power supply installed, with the cabling on it, I should be able to just bring these cables through these. I don't know how much you can see there, but we have these wire management holes, right? So this one in particular is a pretty popular one. That's everybody's hanging out. That's where all the cool kids are. But that's where we need to go for this big connector. So I'm going to find that big connector in here. Well, here's the little one. That little one needs to go back here, and we have a cable management slot for that one. So what I'm going to do easier is pull some of the slack, so reroute that over here. Now, once again, you can pull the whole tray out. My hands are small enough, I can easily do this. But if you're, got big old sausage fingers or whatever, know that these two trays come out. This one will come out first, it looks like, and then it looks like it sits on top of this one, which would then come out second. I don't know if you can just pull this one out first, but that would certainly give you a lot more room if you can. So this is the CPU power connector, the little one that I can guide to this wire management hole right here. And then I'm going to plug that in right here. Okay, so that one's on. Then we've got the big 24 pin, and we also have these fans, right? We've got these two rear fans. One can plug into the other one, just like that. And I'll worry about making it look pretty later. And then this one, whatever this one goes to, can plug in. It's like Christmas tree lights. Just keep them all fed. See that?
Yep.
You notice they're only using the same 2 of the 4 cables on all these? Can you see that? Here, here, and here. And then as far as the power supply goes, like I said, I've got the big 24 pin connector right here. That's got to go there. So what I'll do is I'll just shove all these other cables aside. Look at that. Hung up on itself here. Didn't you have a joke about spaghetti earlier?
Spaghetto.
Spaghetto. I got my spaghetto going on right here. What I want to do, this cable's kind of twisted, so by pulling all the slack through, I can untwist it. Then I can align it where I need it and seat it comfortably into its connector. You getting all this? Cameraman?
Indubitably.
Indubitably. Oh, look, here's another one of those Molex thingies down here. Oh, that's... So once again, this one as well can come up through the same wiring management hole. We're just going to use one wiring management hole for this right now. And there's like this cable's in its own way. So I will feed this one through. careful that you're not, you know, basically it's hooking on every wire in here. Bigger cables should have gone through the cable management hole first, because they get stuck on everything on the way through. But now that I've got it through, now I can take all this extra and push it back down and get it out of here. Try to make that look a little bit better. Even though I'm not worried about cable management yet. But basically all the slack can go down in there. And then this is going to be our master source of power that will plug into all of these. It's got to plug in this side. I'll just plug that in right so. Yeah. Use this one here. Like that. Okay. And then, do you know what we can do now? Did you say dance and sing? Well, okay. No, just kidding. But I can get the
dome?
it's topless. It's very bold and let's put the lid on it. Put a lid on it, Mitch.
Right. Ooh, very nice.
Now it's very important that you align this properly or you can break those little plastic clips. So be very careful. Take your time on this part. You might want to spin it around and verify that things are lining up as they should. Don't force it, because if it breaks, it's going to give you a very bad day. So I'm still looking where this isn't. I can feel it's not aligned properly. I can already see where my problem is. I can feel it. Right back here, you see this? See how there's a lip right here?
Yeah.
That lip has to go on the outside. So I would do that first. Put the lip on so that you don't want the lip to be behind this. If it's behind this, it's going to be a bad day. Can you raise the camera a little bit? Yeah. You don't want this piece right here going back behind it. You want it in front. So do that first on both sides. Once you do that, then these little plastic posts should just seat right into their respective sockets. And you just push it and you'll hear it click once it's in place. With that done, we can also grab the canopy, which is so dark you can't see through it, so that's why I'm not too worried about cable management. I will fix it.
The canopies. Oh, we having peas?
Canopies.
Canopies.
All right, so there's that.
Okay.
And then we have that rear piece in the back, which we set back here, that's held on with magnets. And that this is optional, but it's, completes the look. And that just simply goes on like that. And the build is done, Mitch. It's complete. Don't look at me. Nobody wants to look at me.
Okay.
What's wrong with you?
Ooh.
So we plug it in, turn it on?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to step around. I'm going to grab the HDMI cable and the power cable. So here's HDMI. We're going to go right back where we were back here to the HDMI output of the built-in video on the CPU.
Okay.
And then, of course, I need power. Okay, so we're going to come back here, plug in power, and then we can flip the switch to the on position. And if I bring this around this way, Mr. Mitchell,
Okay.
and I hit this button right here, look at, see it light up?
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like my fan is running into one of the cables is rubbing into the fan. Had to know that was going to happen. Oh, that's not my fan, that's their fan. All right, well anyway, let's, you're way too close. So there's the machine all built, looking pretty. And there's a logo down here on the ground. I guess that's what you were trying to film.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing a fan, one of these two 80mm fans in the back, maybe rubbing up against a cable, and I'll have to pull the canopy off to fix that. But if I go to camera input number 2, which should be that computer, it has booted up perfectly. Now I'm going to go ahead and give Mitch a break. We'll go back to camera 1. All right, Mitch, you're good. You're clear. Thank you.
Uh-oh. Let's see.
All right. And that's the build. It's that easy.
Can you kill the lights and see if they can see the logo flashing on the?
Absolutely. Good idea.
Glad I thought of it. All right.
And the logo is turned for some reason. What did you get hung up on over here?
The HDMI, I think, yeah. That's quite a spaghetto.
Quite a spaghetti.
Yeah.
That's a thicker cable than I remember it being.
Yeah.
Straighten this out before there's an accident.
Plus, there's got to be a way to spin that logo so it's kind of on the vertical right now.
The
So
vertical?
yeah. So. Ooh.
All right, we're going to bring down the lights so we can see that a little better, or try to.
It's right here.
Let me see if I can go to camera. This is camera 4. Okay. And then we'll bring this down like this. And then we'll zoom it in like that.
Nice. That's why you would want it on your desk. You don't want that on the floor. You wouldn't be able to see that.
Yeah, there must be a way to rotate.
Yeah.
Does it rotate on the outside? No. It's, whatever it is, it's crooked. But what that says, if I grab this camera here, can I do this? Oh, it's not going to let me grab it. No, I can't do that. It's not going to happen. Sorry about that, guys. It's cabled in. But anyway, right there. Let me grab this camera. I'll try shooting with this one instead. Let's try, do me a favor and click where it says, see where it says camera 4 over here?
Yeah.
You see the eyeball?
Yeah.
So that's not an eyeball.
Oh, okay.
Other side.
Oh, other side.
Turn the eyeball off.
Turn it off. One click.
Yeah, one click. And now see camera 1.
Yeah.
Turn
Below
the
it.
eyeball off.
Turn the eyeball off.
Yeah. Now we're on camera 2. Go ahead and turn the eyeball off.
Eyeball off.
Now we're on camera 3.
Ooh, now you can see it.
And you can see the logo. And that logo is coming from this light right here.
Yeah.
And if I hit this button, there's a button right there. Turns it off. Turns it on. So I bet you I can get like my logo probably made into a filter. That goes in
Thingamajig,
it.
yeah.
What's that?
A thingamajig, yeah. Your logo into a thingamajig, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that's pretty snuffy, I must say.
Snuffy.
Yeah.
And then you see the blue lights that come on
Yeah.
here, and you cannot see anything through this
No.
dome. So if you put like an LED fan in there, like for the 140mm cooler,
Okay.
then it'll glow blue like they show in the product pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's your completed build, ladies and gentlemen. There you go, Mitch. Smile. See a
Jeez.
thumbnail for me.
Jeez.
Now we know where the mothership that Mitch came from.
Yeah.
They're like, he got too big.
The alien egg. All right.
All right, so that's it. What do you
Okay.
think?
I think it's great.
That fan got quieter. It's
Yeah.
probably eating through one of those cables right now. Do me a favor, hit the camera 1 eyeball for me.
Hit the camera 1 eyeball, which is this one.
Yep. Nicely done, sir. You may yet have a career ahead of you in filmmaking.
I want it. It's unique.
Do you seriously want that? I mean, oh, that's great. Yeah, me too. Now,
I got a beautiful place on a desk for it, but
some of the things
eh.
I have to revisit. One thing is the noise it's making.
Right.
Now, we still had the 2 screws that go in and hold the canopy that we didn't put back. So in theory, I should be able to lift the canopy off right now. I think.
Do you have to take the back magnet?
I don't
out?
think I have
I don't-
to,
you don't
but
think, but just to be safe. Yeah.
yeah. And the cables are in the way now. But I'm going to try and do this because I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see which fan is making the noise. This makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Something.
I got it.
So nothing is touching this fan. See?
Right.
But you can hear it. Oh, wait. I think it's the CPU fan.
Yeah.
I found it.
Yeah.
So the power cable that powers one of these rear fans was just barely hitting the edge of the CPU fan. And this is why cable management is so important. You can see the 2 blue lights right up here that are shining through. And we can put the canopy back now that
Well, why don't you get your
Oh.
little hand in there and spin that
get
logo.
my little hand in there.
and spin
What is that with you and the little
and
jokes
spin
today?
it. Oh, you have it. Yeah. Nice.
You're a little too excited about this.
Okay. Yeah. Like that.
Just
Sweet.
like that.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
I would have been pulling this canopy off in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's try this again. So once again, we want to make sure that the back goes on in front of the metal, and then it should automatically align. Right? Now it's dead silent like it's supposed to be. The reason I haven't done any cable management is I'm not sure I want to keep this configuration. I may yet try
Yeah.
a micro ATX board in there. There's a lot of room in there. It looks really easy to work on.
Right.
And of course, we still have the 2 screws that we could have put in, those little thumb screws.
Yeah.
And now that Segotep logo, if I grab camera 4 again, you know how to adjust the cameras now?
No. What eyeball do I?
Put on camera number 3.
Get rid of the eyeball.
Oh, 3 is still on, so just turn off the eyeball on 1.
Turn off the eyeball on 1.
Yeah.
Kill the lights.
Yeah, I mean, they can see it, right?
Yeah. Shining down. That's slick.
There it is.
There it is. There it
Well,
is.
what do you have to say for yourself?
What turned out to be not so great a day turned out to be a great day. So,
Yeah, now we just need to finish it off with a good dinner.
yeah.
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 All right, so I'm going to put this camera. Go ahead and turn on camera 1 for me, if you would.
What eyeball? The one eyeball?
Cam 1, that's 4.
That's for.
That one's 1.
Click that one.
That. There you go. Well done. That's it. So any final questions?
Concerns?
Comments? Snarky remarks?
You had Gamers Nexus and Mr. Holzman
Right, following close behind.
building this.
And if Mitch would have never brought it to my attention, this would have saved me $204.
Take it out of my $1.50 an hour. All right. So, there you go.
Think that I won't.
All right.
But you get good benefits here. Free Band-Aids.
Yeah.
So let's see. Stealth mode says, LOL, thump, I found it. Audio on cam carry, funny edit moment. Rich Robin says, you've left 2 screws out? Yes, I left the thumb screws out
And then
the magnet,
In the magnet. But
which
that's
I'm going to use my hot melt glue gun to fix.
Gorilla Glue in your hair. Oh, no, that's something.
And let's see, did we miss any contributions? It looks like, yeah, Michael Dane contributed $10. He says, Carey and the Mitch, check PayPal for a surprise.
You know
Well,
who
I can't,
Mike-
my phone is way up there.
Right. You know who Michael Dane is? the man.
That's right. It's true. And Michael Dane again contributes $5. He's Carey, check PayPal. I cannot check.
I stuck his,
So the phone
I stuck his phone
I can't
way
even
up.
reach it. And if we move it, we might lose our connection.
So
But thank you, Michael. Thank you so much for your contribution. And let's see. Jose sent in a nice contribution the other day. Thank you so much, Jose. Good to see you, my friend. And there's Patrick Rousseau, Gabriel Granadas, and Kazison, and Samuel Ramos, Richard S. Who else do we have in here? My buddy Ron, and Rick Lakes, Matt Power, Luke Greenia, Edius Maximus, Catherine Anna Hauserman joins us, just giving random shouts out here. And let's see, what else do we have in the chat room?
and before we get out of here today,
Mr.
you
Mitch,
you've got a special going on. You got to tell the people about.
I do.
Yeah.
RoboForm.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
The RoboForm deal is back on. It is 50% off. So you can get a year of RoboForm for $11.90. RoboForm is a password manager. Now, I don't like telling people what to do, right? I'm just showing you what I do. I've been using RoboForm for at least 15 years.
Yeah. I've been using it for the past 6 months, and I kicked myself as to why I didn't use it sooner. So
It is absolutely, if you've never used a password manager, it's like never having a phone book in your phone that you had to remember everybody's phone number. RoboForm remembers all your passwords for you. You just have to remember your one RoboForm password. And it's usually like $24 a year, 23 something. So it's $11.90. If you go to roboform.com/Carey, you don't have to use any coupon code. Just roboform.com/Carey. If you want to do a renewal, there's a lot of people that are saying it doesn't work for renewals. Renewals have to be done with this special because it's just for you guys. This is not something that they're releasing to anybody, right? This is a very special deal for very special people. So you have to go to roboform.com/support and say, I'm a viewer of CareyHolzman and I would like to add more years at this price. You can have a total of 5 years.
up to
5 years. So if you've only got 1 year now and you want to take advantage of the $11.90 a year, then you can have a total of a 5-year subscription. If you've got 3 years now, you can buy 2 more. If you've got 1 year now, you can buy 4 more at that price, but you have to talk to their customer service. You have to tell them you watch CareyHolzman and that you were told that because you're an existing customer who wants to extend their subscription at this discounted price, that you had to contact support because they have to help you manually. They can't do it through the automated thing. But if you're a brand new user, you have, well, in either case, you have until the end of this month to get this deal. As you well know, I don't offer anything on my channel that I don't use myself and that I don't have a very high regard for. So these kind of deals, I'm not going to hammer it for 12 months, okay? Maybe twice a year we'll offer something with RoboForm if we're lucky. And I want to thank the folks at Cyber Systems who make RoboForm for helping us and getting us this deal for the viewers. I think it's really nice of them. They don't have to do it. And if I were you guys, I would take advantage of it because $11.90 is less than $1 a month.
for peace of mind. You can't put a price on peace of mind.
And you can install this on as many devices as you want. So if you've got a laptop, if you've got a desktop, you've got a desktop at work, you've got your smartphone or your tablet, you can install RoboForm on all of those and it'll synchronize all your passwords for your account.
Yep.
They don't charge you. They don't nickel and dime you like other companies do. You can install it on any number of devices. It's unlimited. And it'll even fill in forms like when you're shopping and it's like, what's your first name? What's your last name? What's your mailing address? What's your city? What's your state? What's your zip code? What's your phone number? You just hit the RoboForm fill button and it'll fill all that in for you. I always recommend you double check it. Sometimes it doesn't, when they have drop down states and stuff, you still have to do that manually. And there's always improvements. RoboForm recently added a bunch of new features and I'm going to go over those in a separate video next week. I'll talk to you about what's the latest RoboForm update. We just got one today.
Yep, today.
The RoboForm update. All the updates are free. Again, RoboForm won't nickel and dime you. If you want the discount, there is no coupon code. You go to roboform.com/Carey. Now, you don't get to spell Carey however you want to. If you don't spell my name correctly, you're not going to find the site. You also have to type in RoboForm correctly. Like if I type in
Like you did last week, RoboFrom.
RoboFrom, not so much.
Not so, yeah.
And if you type my name the way you think it should be spelled, nothing's going to happen. It's got to be spelled the way my parents made it. So I didn't have any say in it.
Not cash and carry. CARR.
What's wrong with cash and carry?
Yeah, I'll take some.
I'm happy
yeah.
with that. CAREY. So ROBOFORM.com /. The / is the one underneath the question mark on your keyboard, and then carry, CAREY. That'll take you to the discount page, and all you got to do is fill out the forms. Again, if you want to renew, you must contact RoboForm support. You must tell them you are a viewer of my channel and you want to take advantage of that $11.90 for as many years as you want to buy. But your maximum subscription length is 5. Nobody can go beyond 5 years.
Up to 5 years. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So if you have a year now, you can buy 4 more. If you have 4 years now, you can buy 1 more. Total of 5 total. All right, so what else we got? We done?
I was an hour ago.
Yeah, I know.
No, but our thing, thanks to very tall Mitch, is working.
Our thing is working. That's
Yeah,
good to know.
Your cell phone. Yeah.
So roboform.com /Carey. They go, well, is it a capital C?
No, get this D right there.
Roboform.com /Carey. Doesn't matter how you type it, upper or lowercase, but I usually just keep the keyboard typically in lowercase mode.
Get this deal right.
And this is only good till the end of the month, guys. This is it. After that, we probably won't do this again. If we do it again, it won't probably be till Thanksgiving. All right, so I should be able to share that screen so everybody can see it before we go.
I'm thinking hash tonight. What do you think of?
Like corned beef and hat?
Yeah.
Like an Irish pub or something?
Yeah, no. Well,
All right, so there's the website, roboform.com /Carey. What it did is it forwarded that, right? So if I type in roboform.com /, I can even put an upper or lowercase. It won't matter. There's upper. See, it changed it to lower automatically, and now it's going to forward that, and you're going to see that link up there change one more time. My internet is really, really slow here. You'll know when it happens because there it goes. Now it just changed it. You'll see a special offer from RoboForm for CareyHolzman viewers. Get 50% off new RoboForm Everywhere subscriptions for just $11.90 a year. I ate at Arby's the other day. It cost me more than $12 just for me. And that food will not last me a year. I think it's a good deal. All right. So there.
get it, got it, good. All right.
To clarify, Segotep did not send us this computer. We paid for it with cold hard cash.
Cash and carry.
Cash and carry. And then we're put on a back order list
Right.
from whenever Gamers Nexus.
Right.
Actually, I ordered it that day while Gamers Nexus was broadcasting it.
And
And they canceled my order. They said,
Yeah.
we don't have this. And then they sent my money back. And then about a week later, they started offering it again. And they said it's a back order. So they took my money again.
so with shipping, $240, $250.
It's $199, and then there's, because it's shipping from Canada,
Canada.
I'd have to look at the invoice, but it was somewhere around, let's just call it $230. It was between $220 and $240.
I would not put this on the floor though.
No.
I mean, you could,
Yeah.
but you
On
up
display.
up
Why
on
would you put
display
that on
when
the floor?
when people come in and go, that can't be a computer, and you're like, oh yes it is. So
Should I put like
I mean-
NTC 1701 shuttle, something like that?
you know,
Or should I have like Rick and Morty in here driving? No?
Nutty's spaceship. All right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, okay. He won't fit in there. All right.
No intelligent life. This is it?
Yeah.
I flew all this way,
Yeah.
and all I got is one lousy nut.
Bye bye. All right.
Bye-bye. Special effects are royalty free.
Okay.
Yeah, so
With that,
he looks good on you.
yeah, you're blocking my beautiful good looks. All right. Okay. I'll
Hooray! Let's get out of here.
I think Nutty needs some hormone treatment.
Yes.
Have I been on? Oh, I've not. Which feed am I on?
I don't know.
I'm confused now.
You had the screen with your.
Oh, this is like really delayed.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Is it on pause? I don't even know.
No. Well,
All right, doesn't matter. That's all very confusing.
let's get out of here.
Yeah, should we go?
Yeah.
Okay. Seriously though, Nutty, you gotta work on that.
Voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we get a little meeting with
Me-
Pavarotti, teach you how to
Okay.
do that.
Okay.
One real quick last look into the chat room, and I want to just one more time shout out to everybody who's contributed during today's live broadcast, which at this point I can only see from Stealth Mode contributed $5. He says, "Thank you, Mitch and Carey. Here's a little something for dinner." Michael Dane, whatever your contribution was in PayPal, I'm going to thank you right now for it and for all of your continued support. And the same with Peter Laycock, and of course, I think Samuel Ramos and Rick Lakes, of course, and everybody I should have mentioned earlier. Who am I forgetting? Rick Sabato contributes $2. He says, an 8-year build opinion, Cooler Master 212BE, $39. Oh, he's talking about the cooler versus the Noctua U12S, it's $79. Might be worth looking into, although Mitch will tell you I have lots and lots of coolers right now. The last thing I need are power supplies or coolers. I am buried in them.
Hip deep. All right.
And yeah, so we've left the screws out and the magnet out because I'm not done in there yet. And I don't want to,
Right.
it's all plastic and I don't want to wear them out. And yeah, so everybody who's contributed, I'm sorry YouTube hasn't given me that list, but thank you guys so much for, again, supporting the channel. Thanks for hanging out with us in the chat room on this Friday. I hope you enjoyed the build.
Yeah, and being patient. We got off to a very
was
very
a
rough start.
Yeah,
but,
that first hour was painful.
was painful, but Carey's got it on the hard drive, so he's got a clean version of it to.
And you know what? I've never done this before, but thanks to the Gamers Nexus, because we wouldn't know about the case without them.
Right.
If you're not subscribed to them, check them out. They're very technical. It's a lot of
Yeah.
You know, they're going to do thermals and stuff. Like, who cares?
Right.
But they're very, very thorough, and they're very, very
And he's-
accurate, factually accurate.
And he had long hair like I used to, but I chopped mine off. So.
You also used to be young like him.
Yeah, yeah. Don't bring that up. Don't rub it in. All right. So-
I got to get back at the short jokes.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I said you used to be. He's hearing.
Speak up, Sonny. All right. Yeah.
Harry needs a mascot to drive it. I got one right here.
Yeah.
Boy Wonder.
Yeah.
Luke Greenia says, thank you again for another great build. Hey, thanks,
Yeah.
Luke. Again, thanks for hanging in there with our rough start today. I'm glad we did get something figured out, but everything that got screwed up in the beginning should be recorded perfectly locally.
Yeah.
So when you see this video again, you'll understand why it's being reposted.
Right.
All right. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a safe, happy weekend.
Stay cool. We're hot. So.
Yeah. And I forgot to turn these lights back on, so now it's feeling a little cooler in here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you all again very, very soon. Until then, bye for now.
I mean, bye for now.
Oops. I completely made a mistake. Where was I? There I am.
Fix that in post. All right.
Yeah, we're totally gonna fix that later.
Take two. All right.
They're gonna start thinking I make these mistakes
Right.
on purpose. You
Okay.
realize that?
Yeah.
So you want to do it for real?
Yeah.
On behalf of Mitch Morrison and myself, thank you for watching. Bye for now.
What he said.